Big ambitions need help with the small details. For when you're 6.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What is happening?
Playing a little hurt today.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Jalapeno poppers for you, too?
Maybe too old rice.
Too old rice will do it.
Yeah.
Did you reheat it? Was it too old in the box before you made it?
A Leftover in the fridge, lazy night for dinner, so grab the leftovers. We couldn't remember what day we made it.
It had been the last couple of days. We'll be all right.
To break it apart. I hate when it's clumped and it's hard. That's not usually a good sign. About halfway through, I'm like, this just feels not right.
No.
Didn't fall asleep till 11:30, and stomach just feels like pain right now.
You
Not
got those
moving,
going on?
just like sharp pain.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
You got an ulcer going on over there from
I
your
hope
bad
not,
rice?
man. I've never had one before.
Now, let me ask you this on the reheating of the rice and the meal, because who doesn't love a good leftovers? Don't feel like cooking. We're running around. We got stuff going on. I'm not making a whole new meal. And we got stuff in the fridge. Was there things on top of the rice, or was the rice separate from the other things that you reheated?
No, the rice was...
Was it like mixed into like chicken and veggies and kind of thing?
Ground beef,
Yeah.
a little vegetables, and some sweet potato.
Then you're screwed. Then you can't. But I was going to say sometimes we'll do that where we'll keep the rice separate from the other things to reheat, and then I'll just make a new thing of rice. Because not many things are worse than reheating rice.
Well, rice is... I have a 2-day stance on rice.
Okay.
And I broke that stance yesterday because that
48 hours should be your cutoff. You're not doing it after that?
Yeah, rice is not something I would want to eat like 4 days after it's been made.
Well, it's also like once it's been in the fridge and then you reheat it, that's something that just the flavor goes from a 10. I'm a big rice guy, eat a lot of rice in my life, to like a 6, maybe a 5.
Yeah, what are the foods that like when they're fresh and they're ready to eat, they're perfect, but like when they reheat,
no good.
They're gone.
Rice is on my Mount Rushmore of
rice
that.
Is a good one.
French fries are on my Mount Rushmore of that. I cannot reheat French fries. If French fries are done, like I've said, maybe some people do them in the air fryer. I don't do that. Maybe that brings the crispiness and the zest back. But if you're doing them in the microwave, oh God, leftover fries are terrible.
Yeah, you're doing French fries in a microwave, you're gonna lose. But if you either fry them with butter on a pan and a little salt, or you air fry them, you can bring them back to life, close to like 70%.
See, the whole point of the leftovers for me, though, is I'm not taking a pan out. I'm not refrying these things. The whole point of the leftovers is I want to throw it in the microwave and dinner's ready in 3 minutes. Right? Then I'm just cooking. Might as well just make a new batch of fries if I'm going to do that.
That's fair.
Kind of defeats the point a little bit. But I'm sure there are ways that you can do it. In my laziness, I'll never do that. So fries are probably up there.
Fries are a really good one.
Outside of that, there's not many things that I won't eat leftover.
Well, we don't put rice in the fridge.
Okay.
Normally. We just leave it in the pot, and it's for 2 days, and then you scoop out.
Forgot you guys are sophisticated rice people. We're not a sophisticated rice house over here.
Wait, what does that mean?
We're not, I mean, you guys do rice the real way.
We
don't do rice the real way in our household.
What does that mean?
That means we don't use a rice cooker.
How do you cook your rice?
I'm mainly a microwave rice guy. I cannot tell you how much I love microwave rice.
You do microwave rice?
Like the bags that you buy that you heat in 90 seconds and you break it up and you put it in the microwave for 90 seconds. That's all I need. That's all that fills my hole. I don't use a rice cooker. We don't do it that way.
You don't have a rice cooker?
We don't. Actually, I think we do, but we just never use it.
Why?
I'm lazy. I throw it in the microwave for 90 seconds. It's white rice. It's ready to go.
Wow.
You break up the bag. You peel a corner. You throw it in the microwave. It's good. I got one of those, like, you get the big boxes from Costco.
Oh, I know what
it comes with, like, the little flat circle. They look like a hockey puck almost. Peel it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Microwave for 90 seconds. Bada bing, bada boom. You got yourself some white rice.
I've done the Spanish rice in the bags in the microwave.
Delightful, too. It's a cilantro lime one you can buy as well. It's fantastic.
I got to be
Kroger
honest.
brand. It's like $1.99.
I didn't like it. I was like I was declumping as I'm like getting ready to go to the microwave. I'm like, this is weird.
Look, you're a sophisticated rice household. That's why. Once you have sophisticated rice, you're not going back to microwave rice.
It's hard to go back to it.
I haven't made the jump. Therefore, that's as good as my rice is going to get. The only negative of it is when you take it out of whatever package, it's just in one ball. It's kind of a mush rice ball.
I don't like that.
And you kind of got to break it up.
Like
with
that?
It's fine for me. I'm doing all right over here.
Now, Swag, you're not a rice guy.
No, since the keto thing, we don't make rice at home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But if you made rice, would you do it in a pot? Or would you
I did
do
it
a
the
rice cooker?
old-fashioned way, just old, pot on the
boiled
stove.
cup of water.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So some nice jasmine
I was
rice.
telling my mom the other day that I was eating that actual meal the day I'd made it, and Mom was like, "What are you eating?" And I was like, "I don't know, rice and some ground beef and sweet potatoes. Pretty easy."
That's a nice little bowl of food right there.
And she proceeds to tell me, it's always nice when you find out great racist stories about your family, unsolicited.
Oh, yeah, please share.
And she's like, your great-grandfather, we couldn't eat rice. And I was like, what?
Why?
She's like, we weren't even allowed to have rice in the house. And I'm like, why? She's like, because he was in the Korean War.
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay, you just
okay, so
locked yourself off from rice for your whole life?
Boycott of rice because of a war?
Think about how many different meals that you got lost, that were just lost.
He lost out
to
on
the dustbin
so
of
many.
history. Rice
so
is
many.
fantastic.
Yep.
I could eat rice every day.
Yeah.
Every day and not get tired of it.
I eat it just about every day.
Like if you just tell me, hey, a part of your dinner, when I grilled my steak the other night, halftime of the Super Bowl,
rice, steak, and
I had
egg.
nothing else going on. I'm like, I should probably eat a vegetable, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
What do I need? Let's throw rice in the microwave. Bada bing, bada boom. You're good.
Yeah. Do you go like wild rice sort of thing?
I mean, you could do wild rice if you want. I just did white rice the other
He
night.
does standard white rice.
I'm a pretty plain. I'm a missionary rice guy. Let's not zest it up. Cilantro lime is about exotic as I get.
That's a fancy rice.
That's for a taco. That's for a burrito.
Sure.
That's only on special occasions.
Yeah.
Every other time, it's just we're vanilla white rice.
You call me, what'd you call me, a fancy rice
You're a fancy
person?
rice guy.
So you're pretty close.
Rice.
You're sophisticated rice.
Yeah. You're close.
You take your time, though. I don't take my time.
Yeah, but you do
there's
white
no
rice.
There's no foreplay with my rice. We get the job done.
If you're doing bagged rice, you would tell me, one, you're white. Two, you're doing like a cilantro lime or a Spanish. The fact that you're going white means you're close. You want to use that rice cooker one day, and you're going to use it and go, he was right. There's no going back after this.
No, it's another thing, another pot I got to get down. Oh, there's these pots. I got that pot. I got too many dishes to clean up.
I did have rice last night. We actually, there's a brand new food cart pod that just opened up near our, like on the main drag.
Yeah.
So we went. Not all of them were open, but had this. No, there was a Vietnamese food cart. This pork chop that was wonderful.
Sure.
And then there were a couple other side dishes. One looked like some sort of. I mean, and it was on just white rice. And then there was this other. Looked like a rice cake of some point. Wasn't quite sure what it was. It was delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The food's delightful.
Food's delightful.
Yeah, she then proceeds to tell me about how he didn't like my dad because my dad's half Japanese and he's pretty tan. She's just like telling me all these things, and I'm like,
this escalated quickly. All of a sudden,
you kind of already assume, right?
Yes.
Old white guy.
Sure. Some family trauma here.
That's
lingering.
Well, it wasn't even the way. She wasn't even saying it in a traumatizing way. She's like, I wasn't allowed to have rice at your great grandfather's house. Yeah, why? Because the war. Oh.
All right. What war are we talking here? Is this a World War II thing? Is this a Korean War? Is this a Vietnam War?
The Korean War.
Okay. We fought with a lot of rice countries over the years.
We have fought over rice.
Quite a few.
Yes.
They love rice in Japan.
He was at Pearl Harbor.
Could have been Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
No rice for you, man.
No, I think it was the trauma of all the wars in his life that built up. It was like, wait, rice.
I'm not eating rice.
And then later, more rice?
Now it's rice again. 10 years later,
and
we got rice
Vietnam,
again?
We have rice, followed by rice, followed by rice.
That was like a decade-long rice war, man.
That's a lot of rice. That's a Jerry rice right there, man.
It's you know what they say, football's all about food.
It is. Yeah, it is. Let's squash our beef.
Food. It's a lot of rice battles. I just like locking yourself out of that. I feel bad for you. You're just losing so many great meals over the years.
Oh, that dude died not knowing half of the delightful meals you could have had while alive.
Just completely uncultured. Not
just
going to try
over
it.
racism.
No,
like,
not
what?
going to do it. No, I'm not eating that food. Don't like those people.
Like somebody like Bad Bunny, I'm not eating taco.
Like, why?
What?
Tacos are delightful. Who doesn't love tacos?
Not eating pinto beans.
Yeah,
why? Why would you cut yourself off from cultural food?
Deprive yourself of fried rice.
What a stupid decision.
I'll give you another leftover that's not very good. Depending on how you do it, like any sort of like sometimes you do like burgers, barbecue Saturday night. You make burgers, one or two burgers.
Aren't good.
Burgers leftover are horrible.
I turned it into ground beef, and
that's
I use
a good way
for
to do it.
A pasta or something.
That's a much better way to do it.
You can't do a
because when you put it in the fridge, you put it with the bun. Now the bun's cold, but if you have
put it with the bun.
Oh no! Well, sometimes you make a plate and you have them, and then you just put them in, and then it's no good. You got to take it off.
I'll give you the key that I.
But a burger patty tastes horrible reheated.
It's not good the next.
No matter what else you have on.
I got a little trick for you that'll help it last, and it keeps some moisture in it. Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, on the burger.
Wait a minute. Are you advocating day 2 burger?
You're a big burger guy. Day 2.
Megan does that because I'll like if we want hamburgers, but then I'll cook a bunch extra so she has some stuff for lunch.
Sure.
And so yeah, I don't know when but yeah, I started putting Worcestershire in with the hamburger meat as I made the patties, and it gives it a little bit more moisture.
So when you make the patties, you put it in, not when you put it in the fridge.
No, it's
Got
in
it.
the meat with your salt and pepper and garlic and whatever else you're putting into it.
Okay.
Now,
your seasonings.
I would say, like, we have made burger. First of all, no disrespect, man. You are a psycho. You leave the buns on sometimes.
I'm not saying all the time. I'm saying occasionally it'll
can't
happen.
leave the bun
from
on a
time
burger.
to time. You never know.
You got to remove.
What if you go out to get burgers?
What do you
and
mean?
then you have a leftover burger. Do you take
the bun off?
And you leave the bun out? And I go, my hands are all messy. I don't want to do that.
Why are your hands messy?
Throw it in the fridge. All right, we'll deal with it tomorrow.
Okay, all right. The day 2 burger, you are right, though. It's not great day 2, and I have partaken in a day 2 burger, but I normally I end up doing it in a bowl with rice. I'll fry an egg, and I kind of just end up ground beefing it.
Yeah, it's a smart way to do it.
That's the only way I can do a day 2 burger.
Sushi, no good leftover, got texted in.
Yeah, sushi day 2 is just like,
you can't do it.
That fish ain't fresh.
You cannot do it. Let's see, what else? Fries. Somebody that makes their fries into hash browns. That's not a bad idea.
That's what we do.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah,
that's not a bad call.
I did that with tots the other day. We got a bunch of tots at a thing, and so I took the tots because it was way too much. And you fry it on a pan with a little butter, and then you start mushing them down, and now your tots are basically a pseudo McDonald-type hash brown.
One listener is saying that leftover rice can kill you if it's out for a certain amount of days. So,
well, it wasn't out; it was in the fridge.
Okay.
But if it's in the pot for past 2 days, we throw it away every
you have
time.
to.
Yeah,
you got to get rid of it.
I've been concerned about this all night. So thank you for going back to my mental state of
You're
I think
welcome.
I might be dying with the pain I'm experiencing.
That's how you come full circle in
okay.
a segment. That's how we,
It'll pass.
You got to put a bookend on each part of the segment. There you go.
You know what it feels like?
You have an ulcer, and maybe you're dying right now.
I'm either going to die or post-show is going to be like, all right, we flushed it out the system. We're good. We're good. But right now, pain.
Next 4 hours are going to be tough. It was me yesterday, you today, buddy.
Oh, it was you yesterday?
I mean, I was in my stomach was
jalapeno popper
that's
hangover.
right.
I would like to pat myself on the back. I did not finish the jalapeno poppers yesterday.
You threw it away?
I'll finish
You
them
need to give
today.
your
I'm not gonna
system
throw
a
them away.
breather.
I'm not throwing them away. Yeah, just take a day off. They're still good. They're fine. We'll be all right in there. There's only 3 left. It's not that big of a deal.
Now,
We'll
those
zap
I
them.
will
They'll be
say-
okay.
Day 2 poppers, man. That's risky.
Now, I will say, when you decide, okay, I'm ready to finish the poppers, have some patience, put them in the oven, and warm them up in the oven. Because if you nuke them, I don't know what's going to happen.
Then your bacon gets a little more floppy.
Exactly.
Yeah, reheating bacon's not a good thing.
Dude, bacon, that's another good one.
Bacon is not a good. Somebody
Especially
said
if you
mashed
like it.
potatoes. I've never.
Mashed potatoes is a good one unless you're going to like go to the full extent of kind of remaking them and dump a little milk to make it more fresh.
Hard to get the right heat on a reheated mashed potato.
It never evenly heats.
No, the outside will be hotter than hell, and then you get halfway through the bowl, and then it's the middle of it's just cold.
No, you
got to
go back to the pot, add a little more butter or milk or
you have to do that if you're going to do it.
Just a little bit to get it all back consistency right.
Yeah, I agree.
Enjoyed this one on the YouTube chat. Darren said, I won't eat English muffins because of the Revolutionary War. That's right. Hold the line. Hold the line. Don't do it, Darren. Don't do it.
No doubt. I'll add one more. Gravy.
Yeah. I don't reheat a lot of gravy because I eat gravy once a year.
I don't want to dump it in a pot.
The gravy and the fat separates in the
that
fridge.
firm top to it is no good.
And when you nuke it, it doesn't come back together. That's another one you got to do on the stovetop slowly.
You got to do it the right way.
And you got to have patience. And if you're starving and hungry, it doesn't quite compute.
Actually, I think ribs is another good one. Ribs are never good the second day.
Yeah, I had this microwave.
You can sauce them up and make them fine.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Compared to the first day when it's like almost the meat off the grill.
Not the same.
Yeah, when they're fresh off the grill.
Not good.
We had this with Coog Ludes the other day. We were talking about, he had a rice conversation with me because he told me to wash my rice, and he got very angry that I wasn't washing my rice.
I've also told you that. But
Yeah.
you don't have to.
But I told him I'm
starch off.
I'm microwaving the rice, so I'm not going to take it out of the bag, like wash it and put it back. Like you can't wash that kind of rice, right? That was my whole point. Is I don't make rice the authentic way. But he told me that he's lived without a microwave for years, and I looked at him like, how do you reheat? How do you function?
Now, does he have like a toaster oven or something?
No toaster.
Old school.
Old school, just broiler, oven.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, more power to you. You don't want those wavelengths in your house. I get it. Maybe you
Sure.
think it's bad for you. But that reheating process is going to take you a while.
Well, playing her today, it's nice to be in on a Tuesday. We got a fun little show for you.
We do.
Let's start with this. Why is there so much violence in this state in regards to sports?
Oh.
We'll start there. Dirt and Sprague, good to be with you on this Tuesday, 105.1 The Fan.
620 a.m.
All right, welcome back in. 6:20 a.m. on your February 10th. Dirt and Sprague here, your Sunrise guys. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Some other good submissions. By the way, nachos is a good one. Nachos are done. One day they're done.
Yeah.
You can't reheat nachos.
Especially if
yeah.
if it's on the chips. Now,
Yeah.
if you have like a dip, if you keep like
That's totally different.
Then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, but dude,
separate.
if there's guac left over, guac is
nah.
You
guac
can't
is in the
reheat
moment.
chips.
You don't mess with old guac.
No,
No.
dude.
But if it's chips involved, no, soggy chips are the worst.
I'll give
It's
you
no
that,
good.
but I will say I've revived some nachos to at least be an edible level with my air fryer.
I mean, I'm not saying I've never done it either, but
But it ain't great.
The taste from day 1 to day 2 drops significantly.
It is a Tuesday, which means
That's right.
so you can get your mail sack questions in at the fan text line 503-864-6326. I want to start. We had a couple things. We have one thing we didn't get to yesterday because obviously it's a Super Bowl Monday, but I wanted to get to this paired with something that happened in sports yesterday. There is something in the water in North Carolina right now that is leading to a lot of violence when it comes to basketball. The first happened over the weekend with Duke, North Carolina. We didn't even talk Duke UNC.
No, that game was fantastic Saturday night.
Duke was up big. UNC came back, and we had this as the go-ahead.
Boozer switches on to him. Dixon the kick. Trimble! Got it! And Carolina wins it! They have stormed the court here at the Smith Center. Is there a chance the officials may be looking at the monitor to see if there's any time that should be put back on the clock? What a tremendous...
No, there wasn't. That was the game. It was over. UNC wins basically on a walk-off 3 and upsets Duke.
I love Dan Shulman, by the way.
Shulman and Billis
God,
are elite.
so good.
Elite. It was nice to go back and watch that game, and I miss working with our old boss so I could talk a lot of S about that game. But in the process of that court storming, their head coach, John Shires, basically comes out in the postgame, and he says, one of my assistants got hit.
Yeah, I got punched in the face.
Got punched.
People throwing blows out here.
Now, he did follow up and say, he's okay. He's doing all right.
You're telling me there's a candy-ass soft Duke coach who doesn't like when teams storm the court when they lose? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I think there's a real thing.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
Duke is one of those, when they win, it's like, whatever, we won. But when they lose and they get upset, they have a real problem with people celebrating their downfall. Remember Filipowski faking
Yes.
Yeah.
the whole thing about
The student bumped into him, and he
That's
went
right.
down and grabbed his leg.
That was Wake Forest.
I can't believe my leg! And then he
Right.
played the
I will say-
next night. You're like,
Yes.
oh, okay, so
yeah,
that was
Shire
nothing.
wasn't as preachy. He didn't have. He reiterated there has to be a clean. If you want to protect, just make sure there's a clean line for the team to get to the locker room. That was his only thing. He wasn't against. He said, "I'm all for court storming.
Don't you
I'm
defend
all for
Duke.
celebrating."
Don't you come out here and defend Duke.
Don't make us soft. Fight your way to that locker room.
That's right. Throw some elbows and you'll get off the floor.
Cut that L. You
be
go
a
through that
man,
crowd.
Duke. If you want to be Duke, this is what comes with being Duke. When you lose, they're going to do this to you.
Well, fast forward a couple days later, and last night in the
Oh my
association,
goodness.
the Detroit Pistons fly to North Carolina to play the Charlotte Hornets.
The red hot and rolling.
9 straight wins. As we
right.
noted, since the PS2 came out, they are the only team in the NBA to not have won 8 games in a row. Well, they've won 9. Red hot rolling Charlotte Hornets. And we ended up getting this.
The NBA in fouls per game. Clearly, fouling is not a problem for a good defensive team. And Duran is fouled. Oh, my goodness. And Moose's upset. Moose's really upset. I have never seen Musa Diabate like this. Oh, my goodness. Now Miles and Duran and Beef Stew. This is out of control. Oh, wow. Isaiah Stewart's out of the end, suspended for a while. He was on the bench and he came out just to draw a fight.
So So that's Eric Collins and Del Curry on the FanDuel Sports South of the play-by-play. Pistons, Hornets, Musa Diabate and Jalen Duren get into it after a foul. Miles Bridges goes nuts. Beef Stewart comes off the bench.
There's beef!
We had 4 people ejected. Beef Stewart's definitely getting suspended because he was out of the game. He came off the bench.
He was in like full warm-ups out there throwing punches on the floor.
The Pistons ended up winning this one. It was a good basketball game.
Yeah.
And dare we say out loud, man, if there was anything to get you to care about an Eastern Conference best-of-7 first-round series, it might be the Hornets and the Pistons.
I can't tell you the last time I was excited for an Eastern Conference playoff series in the first round. Maybe a conference finals you could sell me. Give me like Pacers and Knicks, Game 7. All right, I'll get into that. Round 1, 7 games? Dude, wake me up in a month and a half when we get to the second round. If you give me Pistons and Hornets first-round Eastern Conference playoff series, I'm watching that. And I'm glued to it. That feels like it has the ability to pop off like a series from 1997. That's all that I want.
It looked like it last night.
Beef Stewart belongs in 1995 with Charles Oakley. Like he is from that era. I hope we can sign him someday. I would love to have a guy like Beef Stewart on our team.
Beef Stewart's great. Hey,
got
Husky
a bad
love.
boy feel to
Dude,
it.
I got no problem. Once you move on, I'm okay. I let the bygones be bygones. Tim Lincecum, Brandon Roy, I've had a lot of them over the years. Beef Stewart is phenomenal. We need more NBA guys who are actually willing to fight instead of doing the like back away, tough guy, hold me back routine. Now, look, he can't come off the bench. He's going to get suspended for
he's
quite
done
a while.
for probably 4 to 5 games.
I would be willing to bet, the bare
Diabate's
minimum.
going to get at least 2.
Well, Beef has a history, too. Like, he's kind of known as the...
He's not a first-time offender. He fights a lot.
No, so
and he's not that good of a player, but he's still a physical presence. He's a good rebounder. Like, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's the less in-your-face Draymond.
Yes, but actually...
He just, like, want to punch
But he
you.
could do more damage. He's a big dude.
I know. He'd just walk up and punch you and not say anything.
And not a sucker punch. He's not a Draymond sucker puncher. He's the guy who'll square up with you face to face and he'll knock your ass out.
The Hornets are the 10 seed right now. They're a half game behind the Hawks for 9, and they're about 2.5 behind the Heat. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're one of the better stories in the second half.
You just got to get that 8 seed because Detroit's probably going to get the 1 seed in the East. But you never know. There's a long ways to go.
Detroit's up 5.5 games.
They're a bit of a wagon this year, right? Cunningham was great last night. I don't know if that game was on TV or not, but I was certainly following the highlights. The League Pass game.
Yeah.
Because we talked about the winning streak, and there's something unique about the Hornets. Our buddy Gundy tweeted yesterday. Everybody grew up essentially, maybe younger generations are this way, but our generation I know is this way. The Hornets were kind of everybody's second favorite team.
Well, because it was the gear.
It was
the
gear
logo and the gear,
the logo,
hive, all that.
Yeah, the floor, the honeycomb floor.
They had Alonzo,
Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues. Those are really fun teams. Yeah, dude, in the mid 1990s, and so we all grew up kind of from afar looking at the Hornets like they're cool, and
they were never
Hornets. They were never a threat. They never won anything. They never did anything. They never have done anything. And so if the league can't find a way to capitalize on this, they're missing a mark because a lot of kids who grew up in the 90s grew up loving the Hornets.
Well, I think I texted this to you guys a couple weeks ago, like name and logo and uni-wise, like they should be so much better.
It's elite across the board.
And I hate how bad and irrelevant they are in that sport, but they finally got some good young pieces.
In a state that absolutely loves and lives and dies with basketball.
They do.
When they're good, that state will show up. When they're irrelevant, it's like it's a sparse crowd. But if we went like 15 years of irrelevant basketball, I can't imagine. The Moda kind of looks sparse lately in the last couple of home games. I'm seeing seats within the camera view.
Yeah, we're only on year 4, year 5 of being irrelevant. We got another decade to go to hit Hornets status.
The Hornets are finally good. They're fun.
Get them the 8 seed, man. Find a way.
I need this bad.
Adam Silver, put your balls on the table. Let's rig it. They're in the play-in. Get the fouls. Get the whistles going. Find their way into the 8 seed. Give me Pistons and Hornets round 1.
Violence in Carolina. Pent-up rage.
I love violence in basketball. We need more of it.
We do need more of it.
I
love a good hold me back, too.
Yeah. Hold me back.
Hold me back.
Hold me back.
That was a real hold me back because
Diabate needed to be held back.
Duren
actually, he did the
Duren
old...
went up. Well, Duren gave him the face shove.
The face shove's pretty offensive.
Squared off. They kind of went forehead to forehead. Not a full headbutt, but they just kind of...
bumping and grinding.
And then Duren gave him the face shove, and it was on a Diabate.
That'll spark it, dude. Somebody puts a hand on your face, let alone in your face, but like on your face and kind of gives you a face shove. Dude, that'll spark anything.
What would we do if they just circled up and let them go?
Be great. Why don't they?
Like one day the league just universally quietly says, we're just going to let you guys do it.
Be like
there.
hockey, man. And once they get tired or one guy falls on the ground, you jump in, you break it up, go sit in the locker room for 10 minutes. We'll see you in the third quarter.
Kind of like NFL training camps. Like, okay, these two guys have been.
You got to get it out of your system, man.
Let's make sure it doesn't turn into a full team brawl.
Yes.
Kind of circle up, but let's let them
You're
have
a big guy down there banging the whole game.
They need a minute.
Yes.
Is this finally going to be the answer?
Oh.
We'll get to that coming up next.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys you can put your trust in. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan. Blazers getting closer to full health Monday night. Denny Avdia back in action with Scoot Henderson. Portland used a 49-point third quarter to blow out the 76ers, who were playing without Joel Embiid. They cruised to a 135-118 victory. Tumani Kamara, a career-high 30 points and 8 threes to lead the way. Blazers hit the road and will face the Timberwolves on Wednesday. Clint Kubiak, fresh off a Super Bowl victory with the Seahawks, officially introduced as the Raiders' new head coach on Monday. Las Vegas holds the number 1 overall pick in April's draft in Pittsburgh. With potential number 1 pick in the NBA draft, Darren Peterson sitting out for Kansas due to illness. The Jayhawks still handed number 1 Arizona their first loss of the season at Allen Fieldhouse, 82-76. First time ever Kansas has beaten a number 1 ranked team in the history of that building. The Oregon Ducks men's basketball team just couldn't contain the Hoosiers in the second half at Assembly Hall. Suffered their 10th consecutive loss, 92-74, the longest losing streak Dana Altman's presided over in his 37-year head coaching career. Ducks back home Saturday, hosting Penn State. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for a.m.
We'll get to the beloved Trailblazers. What a third quarter for them last night. If you saw the halftime score, they're down 1. And if you came back about midway through the third, you'd be very confused.
What happened here?
That they were down 1 at halftime. It was remarkable, that third quarter.
That escalated quickly.
It did. We'll talk about that coming up at the top of the hour. I got a lot of football things to get into. I'm actually going to pivot and hold my will it work for the second hour, potentially.
Ooh.
Because I do want to talk about it. But so something that came to my attention over the weekend that we didn't have a chance to discuss yesterday, and we briefly said something to each other about it after the show. Did you see this random announcement of Giannis Antetokounmpo saying that he is now partners with that Kalshi marketplace?
Yeah. It's the predictive betting market.
The predictive markets,
which I still don't quite fully understand.
It's literally like anything in
You can gamble
culture.
on anything in culture.
Like, who's going to be the next president as of right now? Who's going to?
But
where's
I don't
this
have
guy going to be traded to?
So I'm just trying to get in and then wait till.
I don't think it's any different than like a DraftKings. Now, I've never used it, but my understanding is essentially you create an account, you fund your account, and then there's
gamble on
certain
the live
predictive
markets.
things that they
Yeah,
give
but it's
you.
a live market as opposed to buying a ticket or saying I'm going to take so and so to cover the spread.
Yeah.
You're just in there like a stock, and
Essentially.
whatever thing your value has.
Yes.
So
Predicting something that will happen.
Yeah.
So the important or weird thing about this to me is that his name was a big part of the predictive markets a week ago.
I would imagine there were a lot of markets or places where you could bet on where will Giannis play
There were.
next in the predictive market space.
And his name being involved with it, and then him coming out immediately after the deadline of I'm not going anywhere. Oh, hey, now I'm partners with that marketplace.
It's all very weird.
Very weird. It feels very wrong to me.
Very
does.
conflict of interest.
I mean, look,
Yes.
a lot of rich people invest in companies that we may not all agree with. And I told Dirt, I was like, I'm never going to be that rich, so it's easy for me to sit here on my, high tower and say what I would or would not invest in. But, like, there are some things that I'm just surprised rich people like him, for example, would jump in with. And I know you could, Sprague, it's more money. I
more money's
understand
more
that.
money, right?
Yeah,
Come
more
on.
money, more money. But I find it weird from the league's perspective that this isn't this is allowed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I'm a little uncomfortable watching LeBron James on DraftKings commercials, and I love LeBron, but
The idea of athletes starring in commercials, now they always try and spin it with LeBron where all the commercials are based around football and football bets, nothing
I get
NBA
that.
related.
Yeah.
But I'm with you 100%. Like that would mean if I were a commissioner of a league, that would be a hard no for me.
that's got to be a negotiation with the union of like you guys can't
You
have
can't do this, dude.
relationships with betting.
If NBC wants to have DraftKings as a presenting sponsor, and in the second quarter of the game, tell me here's your live odds.
ahead.
The Blazers are 4.5-point underdogs to the Philadelphia 76ers, and here's the over/under. That's fine. That's totally different. It's when you have an athlete that's voicing their support of a company. I'm with you 100%. I was shocked that this was even allowed, and it's not just that a player did it. It was the timing of him doing this. Nobody has had a weirder couple weeks because it started with he wants out. And then all of a sudden at the deadline, he doesn't get moved. And then I never asked for a trade anyway.
And I'm never leaving.
Yeah. But we don't really believe that he's never leaving. And I don't believe for a second that he didn't actually want to trade. I think he floated it. Milwaukee killed him. He didn't like being hated in a city that he won a title. And all of a sudden it's like, how do I, reintegrate myself into this fan base and make sure everybody loves me again? So, well, I never demanded a trade. And then the next day you announce a partnership with a predictive market betting site? All of this is incredibly shady and incredibly dirty for a guy who's never been connected to any of that his entire career.
Well, okay, so you may not think it's a big deal, but like, let me now walk you through a scenario where their team sucks. They get to the summer. There's no real moves they make. And he's back into the whole, the report is Giannis is willing to live somewhere else instead of just saying Giannis has requested a trade. What are we to make of his name being brought back into the trade talks in the summertime?
Then it gets
now
really
he's
weird
a
again.
partner of the predictive markets.
Yes, who has some say and know and understanding of where he will be traded to and where he will be playing if he is going to get traded.
Does it not feel odd the league would – I mean, we currently have our former coach going through a legal situation involving insider, gambling off, and then you've got these other guys
mob
with
ties.
mob ties. And
Right.
point shaving or whatever, whatever all of it is, like you've got legitimately 2 players and 2 coaches. Like you just got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Why are you allowed to just dive back in with that world?
Adam Silver has no control, especially over star players in that league. I think that's part of it. They basically do whatever they want and say whatever they want and go play for whoever they want. They control everything. It's very unique in that regard that doesn't exist in other sports. I have no answer for you here. I have no clue how this was allowed. When I first saw it because I think it was literally the day after the trade deadline.
It was.
Like just 24 hours later.
Big post.
I hear I'm a partner now.
Yeah.
And I at first thought I was getting butt cracked. I'm like, there's no way this is true. Who's got a fake Giannis account that's announcing this partnership?
How's it any different than LeBron and DraftKings?
I don't know.
Because he holds a football and he says you can pick LeBron's Super Bowl parlay.
Yeah.
Like
it's not that different.
It's the same thing to me.
Not that different.
But DraftKings is an official partner of leagues, and these predictive markets are they even regulated?
But
That's the part
you're literally as a league going through.
I know.
Chauncey Billups may have given information to people based on this game in Chicago of who's going to play and who's not going to play.
Yeah, I mean,
you're about to get freaky at night. You think about it.
He's getting freaky, dude. They have like LeBron parlays. If you log into DraftKings,
it was on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, here's LeBron's.
Do you want
parlay.
LeBron's Super Bowl parlay? And I'm like, well, that's a lot of things to have to hit. I think I'm going to pass on that, but
I'm going to cook up my own. Who does those, by the way? What
I do them once in a while.
Do you really?
You're going to say what losers do that?
Yeah. You just want to create your own parlay? I don't need somebody else's parlay.
But sometimes I'll see one and be like,
how many of them hit? What's the percentage on those?
That's a good question.
Because a lot of them are kind of long bets, and it's like, there's no way this is going to hit. That's why they put it up at the top of the page.
I can't remember if it was Big Cat. There was one on a Sunday, and it was like this player to score, this player to score, this player to score, and this. It was like 4 players
touchdown one
to get touchdowns, and I'm like,
what the hell?
I could see those 4 players scoring a touchdown. I'm in. I'll throw $2 on that
sure.
thing.
$2 to win 15 or whatever the odds
it
are.
was. Yeah, I don't do it very often.
Those are no different than buying a lottery ticket at that point, right?
It's no different than me building my own.
Yeah.
If I build a 4 to 5 leg parlay,
the chances of that hitting are very slim.
Very slim.
Fair point, valid point.
The only time you hear about it is the one out of every 9 weeks when you're like, I'm rolling high today,
I
boys.
got a golden ticket.
Yeah.
Breakfast burritos on me.
Exactly. I just think it's a really bad look for the league.
Yeah.
Whatever. Giannis legally being allowed to do it, whatever. Okay, go make your money. It's for a league going through a little bit of an identity crisis paired with little trust from some sports fans in the gambling world.
Yeah.
It's a very bad look, I think, for the league to have that happen.
It's a really gray area where they're not quite sure how to handle all this. And I think if it had been any other player, insert random, I don't know, Devin Booker announces a partnership with Kyle Shea. I don't know if we react the same way. I think it was.
I would. I think all of it's weird.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't. I'm saying that, like, for me, at least from looking from afar, I would have had the same thought I have with LeBron of like, that's kind of weird, but I think I move on with my day. It was the fact that Giannis had just been the most talked about trade piece for multiple weeks.
Right.
And everybody was predicting Golden State's got to be Golden State. Oh, he's going to be a Knick. Oh, he's going to be a Heat. Oh, he's going to be a Timberwolf. We out here. Oh, he's going to be a Blazer. Like, that was the whole discourse around nobody paid any attention to basketball for 2 weeks. All we spent time talking about was Giannis and where he was going to go. And then to do it, it's all ugly, but they don't really have any answers on how to regulate it.
I mean, I think the tough thing is there's so much ugly in the world right now that I don't know if Giannis and Kalshi are really on people's radars of that's kind of gross and weird.
Yeah.
The president is suing the country for $10 billion.
Yes. Money's money, man. It's going to charity, though. Don't worry about it.
$10 billion.
Going to charity.
Damn.
And then you're taking it out of it, and then you're putting it in charity. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, just checking there.
Kind of an update on a weird story, and then we'll get into the Blazers at the top of the hour, and then I'll get to my tease that I made for this segment of will it finally work? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Durden Sprague, 105.1 The Fan.
a.m.
Well, Scoot's back. Denny's back. And the Blazers are rolling. We'll get to that coming up at the top of the hour.
You get a 3. You get a 3. You get a 3.
Red hot and rolling, baby.
That's right. Winning streak again.
From 6 down to 3 up. We'll get to that coming up at the top of the hour. Got some football stuff to get into in the second hour. Dare I have a college basketball segment?
What? I watched Love College Hoops last night.
Ooh, Sprague did too.
You know how sad the Oregon basketball season is?
Yeah.
They played at Purdue on Saturday.
Yeah, I told you this, and you were like, yeah, I didn't see any of it.
Well, the only reason I saw it was because I didn't even know they were playing. I turned to CBS to watch golf because it was 11 o'clock. And I wanted to watch the Saturday at the Waste Management. And there was 2 minutes left in the game. And I'm like,
pulled off
hey,
a
look at that, they're
massive
winning.
upset.
And I saw the last 2 minutes of the game, and they blew it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, all right.
They got
good.
Nate Biddle back.
They got
Biddle back.
Didn't help last night.
No.
No.
All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
It's all right. We're a baseball school now.
Yeah. What?
That's right. World Series, here we come. This is the year.
Omaha.
This is the year.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you guys have followed this. It's a normal Magic Hat type topic. I hadn't taken a couple days off and then dove back in. Are you following the Savannah Guthrie news?
I am following that, yeah.
Are you not seeing this?
No.
Do you have any idea what's happening?
No.
I love Swigard. I love it.
That one doesn't come across my radar.
I aspire to be that
I don't
level
think
of
you have to
unplugged.
try to make it come across the radar to go across the radar.
No, it's a pretty big story.
No.
Her mom may or may not have been kidnapped.
Yeah, the famous
People are
news
demanding
anchor.
millions of dollars
No idea.
in return. But it might be a fake ransom letter. We don't know. She may be dead. She might be alive. Nobody has any clue.
It's a very odd story in that, Savannah Guthrie's mother was abducted out of her house, or at least she went missing.
Just disappeared.
So they posted, hey, if you see our mom, let us know. And then very shortly after this, people are starting to think she's abducted.
Yeah, local news stations in the Tucson area are getting ransom notes from the alleged kidnappers.
Yeah, there might be ransom notes.
Yeah.
The FBI's been investigating. They got 0 leads. And then there was a ransom deadline, like a real movie-like ransom deadline, $6 million into this account.
You got 48 hours to do it.
And they didn't do it. And there's still been no update of the mom, if the mom's alive. The cops or the feds have no trails of who could this be. And they haven't communicated with the kidnappers at all.
Pretty bonkers story.
It's a very bizarre, weird story. How have you not seen this? You don't have to look for this to see this.
No, it's just general news. But I aspire to be that level of unplugged. I love when
I think generally he watches 5 channels.
Yeah,
and
that's
all
it.
of them are involving sports.
Sport, maybe a cooking channel. I think there's a cooking channel thrown in there from time to time. Outside of that, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Which, hey, good for you, dude.
We're going to be in a war. And
I mean, what am I going to do with this Samantha? It's not my mom. I feel terrible for her, but it's not.
To me, it's not necessarily about. Well, I mean, it's a terrible story, right?
Of course.
Nobody wants this to happen, but
nobody should get kidnapped.
To me,
allegedly,
it's about this is something you'd see in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
So my daughter, my oldest, found out about this and was asking and was like, "How do they get the money?" And I go, I know. I would think the money would just be sent to an account that the feds would know.
Right. You would know the account number, and you just wouldn't grant them access to it, or you call the bank, say, shut down the
Unless
access.
it's a foreign account, and then you tell them where she is, but you're already on a flight to a country that won't extradite you.
Yeah. I
but
don't know.
All that seems fake. All that seems like something I'd see in a movie and not actually be possible to happen in life.
Was some of it Bitcoin too? Because I don't know how regulated that market is.
Well,
so it could have been paid out in Bitcoin
market,
stuff, or you throw it into a purse or a wallet somewhere.
But they're not paying.
No, they're not paying. They had a video over the weekend where all the siblings, her and her 2 siblings, sat down.
Begging for.
It looked like a hostage video, and they were like, "We will pay this. We will do it."
Yes.
And then they ended up not paying. And then the next day, she sent out a video, and it was essentially. They didn't say anything about the ransom note. She just said, we need help from people in the local area. If you know anything or if you've seen anything,
crazy.
Please let us know. And this is another weird angle of this, too, is I didn't realize that her mom, because I don't ever watch was she Today Show? Is that what she does?
Yeah. Her mom's been on the show.
Her mom's been on the show a ton.
Yes.
Because NBC really pushes people to sell the family angle and know the backstory and all that. And so I'm sure there's some guilt internally of she's put her mom on the show. She's interviewed her mom, been very public about things her mom has gone through, where she lives. All of that information was known because she continued to appear on the Today Show.
Now, is there a better ransom movie than Ransom?
Ooh.
Kidnap movies. Well, the Big Lebowski was a kidnap movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
it
could
was.
put Lebowski in this,
It was.
but in terms of like intense actual ransoms,
Yeah, and I don't view all kidnapping
There was,
movies the same.
There was Vanished. Vanished was pretty good.
okay.
Okay, I don't remember Vanished. I think I'm just trying to scroll through.
Did you Google ransom movies?
I did Google, yeah, because I'm trying to get them all out. Like Taken was technically a ransom. Like that
Taken
counts.
is a good one. Yeah,
Like some of the movies that are falling into this category, I'm like Silence of the Lambs. Like technically a girl was kidnapped, but it wasn't a
puts
ransom.
the lotion on the skin.
Right,
Yeah.
she's in a well somewhere.
She wasn't
the guy's
held for ransom. She's just abducted.
He's not sending things to the news
He wants to
channel.
wear
with
her.
clipped together, magazine.
He's
letters
trying to
and that.
clip her together to wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think Taken can fall into that category. But I don't. There's nothing on here that's better than Ransom.
Yeah, I don't
Nothing
think
better.
there is.
Nothing better than that movie.
And I would have never thought watching that when I watched it growing up that I'd actually see that play out at some point.
There's some pretty wild ones over the years. I believe, didn't Frank Sinatra's daughter get kidnapped? That happened, and I think that he had to pay
There
a
was a
lump
ransom
sum,
of that?
and it was a ransom. She got. I can't remember how old she
and
was.
he paid it and he got her back.
He paid it and he got it back.
Did
Yeah,
they
she
ever find
paid-
the people?
I gotta look up the full story. Maybe it was the son, but one of his kids got kidnapped. I remember
Sinatra's
that.
era would have been the best time to do this because how could
19-year-old
they track you?
Frank Sinatra Jr. was kidnapped at gunpoint from
Wow.
Lake Tahoe Hotel in 1963. After 2 days, a $240,000 ransom payment, he was released unharmed. They were quickly arrested, and despite claims it was
so
a
they-
publicity
oh.
stunt, they were all convicted.
What a weird publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Loaded second hour of the program. We're going to kick it off. Our red hot Trailblazers. Scoot's been back. Denny came back yesterday. And a big third quarter. Second hour starts there. Dirt and Sprague, 105.1, The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Trailblazers took advantage of a career night from Toumani Camara and a 49-point third quarter to blow out the 76ers 135-118. Philly did not have Joel Embiid. Camara had 30 points and 8 threes, both career highs, to lead the way. Portland on the road Wednesday to face the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. With potential number 1 draft pick in the NBA, Darren Peterson sitting out for Kansas due to illness. The Jayhawks handed number 1 Arizona their first loss of the season at Allen Fieldhouse, 82-76. First time Kansas has beaten a number 1 ranked team in the history of that building. Not going so well for the Oregon men's basketball team. They suffered their 10th consecutive loss, 92-74 in Bloomington to the Hoosiers. Longest losing streak of Dana Altman's career in 37 years. Ducks are back home Saturday hosting Penn State. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of primetime.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 2. Dirt and Sprague here, 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, YouTube, the Odyssey app, you name it. We're there. Sunrise, guys. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hello.
Dumb and Dumber, also a ransom movie. Very good point.
That one got sent in. Many people upset Rush Hour was not mentioned.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour's a good one. Good poll right there.
You know, sometimes we throw these things out not actually having thought about the answers
off the cuff,
to these questions.
I can't just come up with all these good ransom movies. I also view them all differently. Like in this, I was thinking more of a movie along these lines.
The entire plot of Rush Hour is a ransom.
I know it's a ransom. It's also been a long time since I've seen the original Rush Hour movie. But
you got to watch it once a year. What's wrong with
That's
you?
a once-a-year movie for you?
Oh, yeah,
Rush
dude.
Hour.
Rush Hour?
All of them, or
Classic.
just the first one?
Well, I'm actually I'm pretty fond of Rush Hour 2 as well.
Okay.
I love the scene where Jackie Chan, it finally busts out of his shell. He's just being the creepo weirdo with the glasses, and Chris Tucker catches him. Like, oh, what are you doing?
What are you
over
looking
here?
over there, Jackie? What are you doing, man?
It's like David Spade with Chris Farley. Catches in the hotel room.
Ooh, hey, who's this hottie down by the pool?
Don't give him the weight room, Tommy. Don't give her the weight room.
Don't do it,
You
guys.
seen the weight room?
Yeah, Man on Fire coming in. There's a
Man
lot of good
on
ransom.
Fire,
a lot
another
of good
good
ransom
one.
movies. A lot of good ones.
Yeah, there are some pretty good ones out there. A lot to get to here in the second hour of the radio program here, Andrew.
Yes, there is.
Got some leftovers from the Super Bowl. Got some football stuff to get into. Maybe college basketball nuggy. But we start the second hour. Our beloved Trailblazers have won 3 in a row.
Break them up, baby. Here we go.
Tic-tac-toe, baby. 2 against the Grizz, 1 against the Sixers last night. There was no Joel Embiid. So, didn't we talk about after the show he was probable?
He was questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable.
Thank you.
God forbid he plays twice in 4 days. You know, we don't want his body to fall apart. I get excited to see young Donovan Clingan take on an All-NBA center and an Olympian and, you know, one of the best to ever do it, Joel Embiid, and instead, no, we don't get to watch that as fans. So thanks for that, Joel Embiid.
No, we didn't, but we did get our beloved Denny Avdia back.
Yes, we did.
He came back from his back injury, maybe sooner than people thought. He finished with 26, 10, and 8.
Yeah.
And had himself a nice little efficient night, got guys involved, attacked, obviously, got 10 free throws. And I wanted to see what him and Scoot would be because Scoot's still ramping it back up. He came off the bench. He played 20 minutes. And I was really just curious what he was going to look like with Denny. And it was, I still think it's something that, like, we got to continue to monitor and watch and see it build and grow and develop.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a little bit of Denny dribbling, and I'm not anti-Denny dribbling. It's obviously how they've had the most success for themselves. But it's Scoot in the corner, and I'm not a particularly big fan of that.
Sure.
Because I think when you watch Scoot play, what's abundantly clear is Scoot Henderson wants to set people up and get them good looks.
Yes.
And so I'll just continue to watch how Scoot and Denny play together. But last night, You had, what did you have? You had a collective 15 points from three from Robert Williams III and Donovan Clingan.
I mean, the only story of last night's blowout win is they just couldn't miss from three. In specifically the third quarter, you shoot 41% as a team from three on 54 attempts.
Dude, 49 in the third.
You're gonna win the game. Breaking news! If you make that, they just couldn't miss. Robert Williams hit the couple at the end of the third quarter, and you're like, Jesus, it's one of those nights where everything's falling, and those are great nights to have. Joel Embiid not playing obviously helped them a little bit as well. And I'm with you. Like, I was genuinely curious to see, because remember, Denny didn't play the other night. He was out, so Scoot made his return, but we didn't get a chance to see them on the floor at the same time. And so last night was going to be the first opportunity for that. I'll just continue to reiterate how I needed, after the trade deadline and nothing happened, which, again, in a vacuum, I understand. We don't need to relitigate that.
So nothing happened.
Fair. I needed a bit of an injection of life. This is going to be one of those Blazer Reddit comments that I don't make very often. I needed Scoot Henderson back. Like I needed something to keep me going and to give me another angle and another player to watch and another storyline for the rest of the year. And he's been, I know he didn't play on Saturday night. They won. But he was awesome in the first night back. And last night, there's just...
There's an energy with him.
There's an energy, dude. There's
an
infectious energy that he brings.
10 free throws, by the way.
He's getting to the foul line. He had multiple alley-oops. He had one to Rob. He had one to Clingan. Like, he's throwing alley-oops to guys and chest bumping them afterwards. He's cheering guys on when they make good plays. Like, there's just an energy about him that genuinely is, one, fun to watch, but two, it gives me something to be excited for the rest of the way, to see what you have in him and how the rest of the year is going to go with, 30-something games remaining on your schedule. Not a ton of minutes crossover with Denny. I did notice some of that. Scoot's not a great three-point shooter. That will never be a strength of his game. And so asking him to do something without the ball in his hands is always going to, in my opinion, limit them a little bit offensively. But what I love about Scoot and what he's brought is the tempo, the pushing the pace, the grabbing it and going, finding guys, setting them up. I mean, you look on Friday night, in 21 minutes, I think he had 9 assists. Last night he played 20 minutes, he had 7 assists. So he's clearly facilitating and running the offense in a way.
Should be getting more, too. Guys are just missing some open looks.
And that was a night where, they shot the ball pretty well, but he did set guys up, and there weren't makes every time on the other side of it. And so you got another guy that can run an offense, you got another guy that can handle the ball, and it's been a shot in the arm for me as a fan of being excited to watch them and see what they're going to look like night in and night out.
So Tumani had a career-high 30 points. They have a season high in a quarter, 49 points. You get the 15 from three from Donovan and Robert Williams III.
Could not miss in the third.
Vit Krejci still has not done anything for them. He had I think it was a 2, or maybe it was a 3. I think it was a 3. He hit his 1-3, and his body, he flailed his arms up finally, I hit a shot. That's obviously really sticking with him of not having a great start since he's gotten traded here.
I feel like 25% of the time he touches the ball, it's hot potato. He catches it and immediately.
Well, he's a move-the-ball guy.
Catch, boom. Hey, who wants it? You take it. You over there.
He had a couple good setups for guys.
Yeah.
What I would say, though, in response to what you're saying is we did kind of talk about this, right? On the deadline when we joked about them not making a move or making a move, whatever that was going to be the date of the deadline, I did kind of throw out that, they're going to get Denny and they're going to get Scoot back. And I don't know. You didn't seem very... at that point, in that moment, very they're
already
cool,
on the roster. It's not an improvement of the overall roster. It can make you better in a vacuum, sure, but it's not a move to change the structure and the foundation of the roster.
But think about, but I guess what I would say is think about maybe where you were at and what you were saying on the trade deadline, right? They were losing games. Mm-hmm. We knew the Grizzlies were coming to town, so that was probably going to be wins.
Yeah.
And now think about what you're saying now, what Scoot has done in the 2 games. And I know, statistically, it's not the whole league's noticing this. It's 12 points. It's 9 assists. It's 11 points, 12, 12 and 7, 11 and 9. It's not like it's popping, but when you watch it, it pops. That's one of those weird things where I think the numbers aren't necessarily showing the full story of him as a player coming back so far.
Agree with that, yeah.
And so I guess it's more your takeaway the day of the deadline versus seeing a couple games with him and how quickly you get kind of excited again with him out there.
I mean, the tough part about it is that Scoot coming back has been great, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. I know, again, he didn't play on Saturday. You also lost Shaden in the process for how long?
We don't know. I don't believe we've gotten a real update on that.
There's been no update on that. And then Denny is back, and it was great to have him in the lineup last night. He seemed like he was moving a little bit better than the last time that we saw him. But what have we said the entire time with his back injury?
Back injuries can come and go.
They just linger, and it takes one fall or one hit or one bump to all of a sudden you're back to where you were at square one, and you got to miss a couple of more games. And so that's the other tough part with it right now is that Scoot coming back, you immediately lose one of your other players who, like, let's give him a ton of credit. Shaden helped carry you through a lot of these injuries that piled up in the first half of your year. You're still below 500, but his success getting it going after the opening month of the season, mainly in kind of later into November and then in December and January, he was a big part of why you were where you were at in the play-in race in the Western Conference and played some really good basketball for you. And so there's a good and there's a bad with it. It's great to have Scoot back, but it also sucks because now we don't get to see the Scoot-Shaden backcourt play any minutes for the foreseeable future. We'll see how long Shaden's going to end up being out. But that's the only part of it that's a bummer for me. So maybe the tone has changed a little bit. Scoot has definitely injected some life into this. You're also a banged-up roster with a couple of guys who are longer in the tooth, if you will, and there's no guarantee that you're going to stay healthy the rest of the way. That's a difficult part with it.
Can I ask you a question that's kind of hard for me to answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
If they're healthy, what's their best five-man lineup?
Ooh, fully healthy.
Well, not
counting
Dame,
yeah, because
right.
he's not playing this year. Obviously, Klingon at the 5.
Yeah.
Denny has to be in there. Denny and Kamara have to be in there.
Okay. And then Scoot Shaden, because what are you doing with Drew? Jeremy Grant's been playing better lately.
He has, yeah.
It's just interesting
That's
to think
a really
about
hard one to
isn't it?
answer.
Like, what would a closing lineup even look like there? And if you had Scoot on the court with Denny, like you did a couple times last night. This seems so odd to say because Denny's the all-star. But, so Scoot's just going to the corner?
And he's just not handling the ball? Well, that's the other tough part, too.
That's what I want to see is, can that develop? Can there be a development of Scoot running it, which I think is clearly their best option?
I tend to agree.
But
it's hard to say because how good Denny's been this year, but I agree with you.
I know, that's the thing is Denny's been really good in it, too. He got 8 assists last night. But Scoot just feels like the natural kind of generator of it versus what's Denny off ball versus Denny with the ball. Shaden would find a way. We know Tamani would just find an open spot and get ready to pull up.
I trust Denny more off the ball than I do Scoot off the ball.
That's kind of what I'm getting at is that's what I want to keep watching to see if that happens is to see the evolution of that.
Well, I think it also highlights and this is where some of the frustration comes in still from the deadline. Scoot is back, which is great. He's going to be on a minutes restriction for how long, right? How long do we foresee him? Probably only playing 20 to 25 minutes. It's a hamstring injury. You want to be careful with it. I totally get it. Not going to play in every game. You got a back-to-back. Like their next 2 games are back-to-back. He's not going to play in the second one. But if this continues, now again, it's a small sample size. It's 2 games, so we got to see where this looks in a couple of weeks from now. But if he continues to play well and really efficiently in his 20, 25 minutes a night, we just keeping him on the bench the rest of the year? Number 3 overall pick from 3 years ago and essentially a contract year. We're just bringing him off the bench for 37-year-old Drew Holiday?
So, I think in that case you would put Jeremy on the bench.
Okay, so then your starting backcourt is Drew and Scoot who can't shoot. Then who handles the ball? So now you're asking Drew, Scoot, or Denny, 2 of them at any. I'm not saying he can't shoot, but that's not his biggest asset to a team. What's his 3-point percentage on the year?
I actually don't know where he's at. 35?
He's averaging 14 a game.
Yeah. He was 50% last night.
36%.
36 is good.
Not terrible.
I wish Shaden was 36.
You take 36, sure.
Scoot was 36.
Denny's 35 on the year, and Scoot's only played 2 games, so I'm not going to use his sample size.
But you're getting back to my point of the 5-man, right? Not that starting and not starting makes or breaks everything for a team. So in that scenario, if Scoot gets all the way healthy and the minutes restrictions lifted and he can play in back-to-backs after the All-Star weekend,
right?
Jeremy's already been on the bench, so that wouldn't be a hard transition if you indeed wanted to see Scoot in the starting lineup. And then I would ask you, when Shaden comes back, is Shaden
who's
off
on the bench
with Jeremy, or does Drew go to the bench? That's what
highlighting the logjam.
That's what I'm kind of curious about is how Tiago would manage that.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw somebody bring up the other day, and I thought it was a great point on Scoot, because he's going to be my focal point for the team. Like, they're going to win games, they're going to go ups and downs. I don't think the overall trajectory of the season has changed, right? You beat Memphis, who's openly tanking, and you beat Philadelphia, who didn't have their best player, and you shot nearly 50% from three. Like, those games are going to happen when you just get hot.
Yeah,
and
outside of that third,
quarter.
you really weren't, like, stellar.
No, they were down by 10 at one point in the second quarter, and you're like, and then they found their way back in. You're tied. So, they weren't bad. They still had a chance to win, but you also didn't have the best player on the floor for the other team. But one of the things that I saw brought up with Scoot was the idea of, let's not forget some of the comments that he made last year about the head coach at the time. And how when Chauncey Billups missed a couple of games, I can't remember what the whole backstory was, but you had Scoot playing in a little bit of a different role, and he talked about, remember, after the game, it's nice to not just go stand in the corner. I'm being used a little bit differently. And so that's something that's lingered in my mind since the Chauncey Billups stuff popped off early in the year. After one game and you realize you're not going to have a head coach for the rest of the season, of how differently you can split or use him, how much does that change his game and his confidence level to have maybe somebody else calling the shots that believes in him a little bit more, gives him different opportunities? But the bigger issue that I will have the rest of the way is just if Shaedon comes back, which I hope he does and is healthy, if Scoot stays healthy, which I hope that he is, the logjam of minutes and where they go for a team that's clearly not winning anything of significance this year, but still in the area of developing your guys. And I'd love to see Scoot eventually get the pathway for a longer runway to play more minutes and have a bigger role if this continues.
Fun to watch them last night. Third quarter was great, and Scoot continued. He's just fun. I think you said it right. I'm
just rooting for him, dude. I want that guy to be good.
Energy and happiness, it just seems contagious. Seems really fun to get a lob from him or get a nice pass from him and hit an open shot. He seems just as excited as you hitting the shot as he would himself.
Dude, he is a throwback point guard. The aesthetics of Scoot Henderson are so cool.
Yes, I agree.
The afro, the one wristband. Yeah. He's a point guard from 1994.
Dude, he's a truck.
He's Rod
too,
Strickland,
man.
and he's big, he's physical, he's going to the hoop more aggressively.
Yeah.
Like I'm rooting like hell for that guy, man.
All right, Blazers win. Their next game is tomorrow. They got the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road. Are they back home for Utah?
No,
they're
roadie.
at Utah. Okay,
back to back at Minnesota, at Utah,
and then Utah is their last game before the All-Star weekend. Let's pivot into some football. They gave it away. That's how it all happened. They gave it away. Next on The Fan.
80 AM.
All right, welcome back in. It's a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get the Mail Sack questions in. If you're new to the program, good morning. Happy Tuesday. The Mail Sack is any and all questions that you want to ask, throw our way, scenarios in life.
Mail Sack.
We answer them in the final hour of the program, in the 9 a.m. hour at 503-864-6326.
Very deep philosophical question that was asked on the YouTube chat is, how does Damian Lillard fit into this roster next year?
Well, we talked about this during the break, not to carry this over too much because I do have legitimate football stuff. But
it's a problem for another day. We'll get there. I get it. But
it's kind of curious when you think about the makeup of the roster. If there's Jeremy is too much of a question mark to just nonchalantly say, oh, they're going to move Jeremy.
And we've done that for 3 off seasons.
We were literally told, there's a deal, and then no deal happened.
They're holding out for 2 first-round picks. One's not enough.
But, yeah, Drew, Dame, Scoot, Shea, the whole thing.
Denny's best with the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
so then you're taking the ball out of,
It's very interesting.
And so, one listener, one of our P1 said Drew or Scoot won't be back next year, which I think from the surface level, I agree with the opinion. I hope it's not Scoot, because if he plays well, I want him to continue to be here.
See, that's an interesting assumption.
But what if they're not? My question is, what if they're not?
Why are you trading Scoot?
I wouldn't trade him.
So if you're not trading Scoot, I'd ask what team. You need to find the desperate team that looks at Drew Holiday and says,
that's the missing piece.
We're rolling the dice with these 2 years of making a lot of money, even though he missed almost 2 months with calf stuff.
We need a veteran, defensive savvy. That's the one ingredient that we need to bake our cake. And Drew Holiday has to be it. But I agree with on premise. So there's no way they're all back. We've done that. How many years have we done
said that before, and then they run it back.
Well, they drafted guards in back-to-back drafts. There's no way Anthony Simons is back on the roster next year, and then Anthony Simons is back on the roster next year.
Dame and Scoot.
So it's just
we're gonna have both of them. It's gonna work. They can both play.
It's just something that's lingering in the back of my head. Of I get that makes sense, and I hope that opinion is right. I would hope that it is Drew, because I want to see Scoot stick around. But if it's not, you got to crunch at pretty important positions again.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. We're not there yet.
No, we're not. It's a problem for tomorrow. Let's solve a today problem.
Leftover Super Bowl stuff, nothing to solve, but something to talk about.
Let's throw it in the microwave. What do we got?
So, look, yesterday is a lot of, we gave the Seahawks all of their flowers. We talked about how great they played. We talked about how bad Drake May was. You and I brought up obvious line stuff, but...
Yeah, the offensive line was horrible for him.
I still walk away from that saying, as bad as May was, I thought the offensive line was equally as bad for New England. And Will Campbell had one of the worst days I've ever seen from a starting left tackle. Devon Witherspoon did an interview with Sirius XM NFL Radio, and he said the following, quote, I knew what was going on. We had a good tell on what they like to do, on how they like to play, and how they were going to attack us. Coach put us in the best position to win. We had a tell on their guards and their tackles, how they like to set. They're going to overset on certain rushes. They're going to fall for certain moves anytime a group of guys get after them. And today, I think we did that. Another player said that they could see visibly Will Campbell shake when it was passing plays. And we know that teams see tells all the time.
He's just trembling.
He's just trembling. DeMarcus Lawrence.
Dude, you're a first-round pick in the NFL. What the hell's the matter with you? It's a Super Bowl.
Well, what's the matter with it? We don't know, because he wouldn't talk to the media. He was one of the few players for New England that wouldn't talk to the media.
Well, he did. He did today. And he said he had an injury or surgery, or he needs surgery or something. I'm banged up.
Yeah, well, okay. We knew Seattle was the better team.
Yes, we did.
We all talked about it for 2 weeks. It wasn't a shock that they won. Most people probably bet Seattle alternate line. Why would you not? If you got Seattle at -10, I bet that paid out pretty well.
The first bet I made on the Super Bowl is I bet them up to 14.5.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was plus 3, 4 something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I would imagine it'd be higher because of that spread, but you covered it, right? So a lot of people thought that result would happen, but to me, it was going to be, I don't know, I guess the way it played out, I knew that offensive line was shaky. We talked about Will Campbell after the few playoff games they had. But to hear the comments and the quotes from the Seahawks players, it's just they're shaking on pass protection, and they line up this way with certain rush, to just hear how easy it was for that defense.
So it goes back to what I said yesterday. It's a combination of definitely dominant defense and incompetent offense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. That's not the 1985 Bears. Seattle's defense is very, very good. We all know that they're very, very good, and McDonald's one of the best defensive minds in football.
There's no doubt.
You also had literally every defense, not to that level, but every defense that has played the Patriots in the playoffs has completely shut them down. Completely. The Chargers couldn't get a first down.
They at least had a couple explosive plays against the Texans. But the Texans also didn't help themselves.
You had two incredible
turnovers.
touchdown catches that were made in bad conditions
Booty
that
made a
very
great
easily could have been
catch.
drops.
Yeah.
And had they been drops, their offense would have felt totally different in that game.
Sure.
They had a defensive touchdown. They were set up time and time again. Like, they changed. The Chargers shut them down for 3.5 quarters. The Chargers couldn't get a first down the majority of the game, and that was what, 9-3, or 9-0. I can't remember exactly. So one possession game going into the fourth quarter. Denver shut them down. We all said, well, it was the weather. Dude, New England had like 48 yards of offense at halftime of the AFC title game. That offense stinks.
I think they had 51 at the halftime of the Super Bowl.
They've not been good. That was the first game in the Super Bowl that we've seen a team open 10 consecutive drives, I think, with a punt. Is that what I read? For the first time since the Giants did that against the Ravens.
When Tirico says on the broadcast, and that's the Patriots' first down since the first quarter, and I think it was late third or early fourth, and you're like, good God, dude.
They got a couple of first downs on their opening drive, got to the 49-yard line of Seattle, I believe, into enemy territory.
That's what it was, yeah.
And then they didn't get back into Seattle territory until the fourth quarter. They didn't hike the ball in Seattle territory until the fourth.
By the way, he's got all-time garbage stat quarterback Super Bowl numbers.
Without a doubt he does. And I've seen a lot of people, like, I don't have access to watch the All-22. I would love to do it. But I've seen a lot of people who have gone back and watched, and it was a see-and-ghost game for Drake May.
Oh, yes.
That he was under siege early, and then all of a sudden you're questioning, I'm never going to have time to throw, so then you're uncomfortable, then you don't know what you're looking at, and there were people who were saying we're watching all 22, and there's wide open guys running all over the place.
Well, I mean, we saw it. Look,
and he can't find him. He missed some of them. He did find him. He just couldn't make the throw.
Well, I don't mean this as a knock. It's going to sound like I don't truly mean it. But like, go look at Seattle's schedule. Who are the best quarterbacks they faced on their schedule?
Stafford was obviously the best because he won the MVP.
Carved them the hell up.
He lit them up. Yeah.
Okay. Then Baker at the early Tampa Bay. Tampa was still good.
Yeah,
healthy.
They gave up 35 to Tampa.
Baker carved him up.
They played the Jags, so Lawrence had a good year. That was kind of before they turned their season around.
They
dominated the
Jags.
Jags.
That was early before the Jags. Yeah, but I'm giving him credit there on the Jags.
I mean, outside of that, there's not a lot.
And then Brock Purdy probably was the best
Phillip
one.
Rivers, Brock Purdy, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins with the Falcons.
They just my point is
Brosmer with the Vikings.
They didn't take on a lot of elite. It was a weird season that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way we talk about New England, like New England didn't beat any. They beat one team with a winning record in the regular season
all year.
So it was to just hear though that like they gave things away like that. I get the all-22. You could tell May has seen a ghost.
Yeah,
he wouldn't set his feet. He'd miss throws. You're like, how did you miss? How?
Yeah. And then times when you would actually have time to throw the ball, then you would panic and kind of didn't really know what to do in the pocket because you assumed you only had 2 seconds.
He didn't know if he wanted to run or throw it half the time.
He should have just started taking off.
He
and
should have ran.
Just run.
Yeah, be a college quarterback. Don't read past your first progression.
Every time, dude. Quarterback draw. Here we go. Here's 6 yards.
I'll be really curious to see what New England does with that line. They have to address something, man. You can't just run it back and say, it's a bad game. Will Campbell came in with short arms.
Yeah.
That was a big, legitimate knock for him at left tackle. More of the guard arms. But they also, isn't Jared Wilson's a guard?
Yeah.
They just drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, you could move. I don't know who the right guard is and what the future looks like there. I think that was the other part of it for New England's schedule and how easy it was, is how many teams did they play that had a legitimate pass rush that could make that weakness be exposed.
That's my point.
Like Buffalo's the best team with them in the AFC East. Buffalo's not known for having
not an elite pass.
Their pass
team.
defense was pretty good this year, but they don't have a bunch of guys who get after and dominate the line of scrimmage. The rest of the teams they played, they did blow out the Browns, so I'll give them credit for that because Myles Garrett was a decoy unanimously. Outside of that, dude, there wasn't very many defenses that showed up on their schedule that could do that to them. You know who they played in the playoffs? 3 teams with good defenses on their way to the Super Bowl, and all 3 of them shut them down. And so I gave the hot take yesterday, they won't be back. Some people might view that hot. This is the NFL. Nothing should be considered a hot take. You can predict whoever you want to go to the Super Bowl next year. Tell me you think it's the Titans. I'm not going to laugh at you.
The no playoff thing was a.
We just had 2 teams who were
I know
nowhere in August and then played in the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl to say it is
Dude,
that's a good take.
I think their offensive line has issues. I think the division will be better around them next year.
Yeah.
I don't think Buffalo is going to fall off, and so
you think Miami and the Jets are going to be better?
I think they'll be slightly. I think the Jets have nowhere to go but up. Right. Right? They can't get worse.
They could
can't
go
get
winless.
worse.
You
know Jeff Hafley's my guy in Miami.
Is
okay,
he?
look out. Here comes the Hafley era for Stephen Ross.
All right.
But it's also part of it, too, and Seattle will have to do this as well. Like, you're going to play a first-place schedule next year, and so your regular season's going to be more challenging, and it's just when you got to play a schedule like that, nothing's a guarantee on the difficulty of it, but it will be more challenging.
The Sam Darnold of next year is who? Next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. Great spot for any occasion. Don't forget you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on The Fan, Blazers keep getting closer to full health. Monday night, they got Denny Avdia back in action with Scoot Henderson. And Portland used a 49-point third quarter to blow out the Sixers, who were playing without Joel Embiid. 135-118 the final. Toumani Camara, a career-high 30 points and 8 threes to lead the way. Blazers on the road tomorrow in Minneapolis to face the Timberwolves. Clint Kubiak, fresh off a Super Bowl victory with the Seahawks, officially introduced as the Raiders' new head coach on Monday. Las Vegas holds the number 1 overall pick in April's draft in Pittsburgh. Oregon Ducks men's basketball team just couldn't contain the Indiana Hoosiers in the second half at Assembly Hall. They suffered their 10th consecutive loss, 92-74 the final. First time Dana Altman has had a 10-game losing streak in any of his 37 seasons as a head coach. Ducks come back home to host Penn State on Saturday. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday.
Sticking in the National Football League, it's a Mail Sack Tuesday. Get the Mail Sack questions in, 503-864-6326. One of our listeners made me chuckle, also incredibly disrespectful. Ryan says, rooting like hell for Scoot. Unfortunately, he's the Burnside version of Russell Westbrook.
Hey.
Wow.
Don't you dare. Y'all don't do that.
Yeah, I do that, Scoot. Yeah, I do that.
It's our future, man. It's our guy.
I don't know what our future is. Magic Johnson. Who's next year's Sam Darnold going to be?
In terms of first Super Bowl win for a quarterback, or
No.
like a guy who revives their career?
Yeah, I was looking through an article, and I believe it was on ESPN. Maybe it was The Athletic. And it was basically going through this year's versions of Sam Darnold for next season. And what's funny about this is I'm going to give you just two names as an example.
Okay, throw them out.
And you're going to go, no way.
No
But
chance.
We all literally would have done that with Sam Darnold.
I'm not doing that anymore. I can't do it. I'll say I won't. I don't see that happening, but I can't say no way. I just can't. Like we predicted our way too early Super Bowl picks yesterday just for fun. And I love
I
doing
already
that.
regret those picks.
Day after the Super Bowl, it's fun. Like we'll remind you in August, and we'll change them, and you'll have a
Sure.
new preseason pick and all that. But I cracked up because immediately somebody tweeted us, "No way!" Like, dude, we just went through a Super Bowl in which one team was drafting in the top. Where was the Pats pick last year? 6?
Four.
Four.
I think
Is that
they
where
were
they got Campbell?
fourth.
Top 5 pick in the draft in Seattle, who got rid of their quarterback and traded, arguably at the time, their best offensive player in the offseason.
Two teams without a playoff appearance last year.
And they just went to the Super Bowl.
So the two biggest names right now, and some of this will have to get sorted with either trades or free agency pickups, but right now the two biggest names, Kyler Murray and
Tua Tagovailoa.
No way. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm just not.
those two guys you'd still leave open to be a Sam Darnold.
I have to leave a crack in the door. Yeah. Now, is the door wide open? No. But is there you guys see a little daylight in there? Yeah. You got to leave a crack. You just have to. If we would have said
your door
this,
stay cracked? My front door always ends up just kind of opening.
Always opening. Yeah.
If you crack my front door,
I love a good crack in the door.
It won't stay. It'll just naturally float back to the wall.
Is that a wind thing? Is that a
I don't know.
Position of the house?
I've actually tested it out of curiosity. It's not a very heavy door.
Okay.
My front door.
You got a weak door?
I wouldn't say a weak door, but like it'll move. It's not going to stay cracked. It's going to end up opening all the way.
I'd love to have one of those big, heavy-duty, like 1-ton doors. How cool would that be?
There's a house for sale in a different neighborhood by us, and the front door is a gigantic, just beautiful wood thick
like a
door.
bank vault door.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I want that as a front door.
I want that door to be almost a workout to open. Like
yes.
What do you want?
No skinny thief is getting in here through that front door. You can't pull that thing open. The meth heads can't handle that.
It's like a whoosh of the airlock that comes when you open it.
Like our doors here in our studio. You hear the silence die.
Now we're talking. I mean, to the point, though, like if I would have said this, Darnold after last year is not a surprise to me. I argued Darnold was better than Geno Smith, and where Dirt was right. But if you would have argued this after the Carolina year, what would the reaction have been?
The guy
or after
that
the Jets, I'm seeing ghosts and I got mono.
Even the San Francisco year, like he was
didn't
only
really
a
play.
backup there.
Yeah, he didn't
We
play.
didn't see him.
I think the guy that most matches it, and he was on his way to doing it, was Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
he was.
I'm going to throw another one at you. Because, I certainly wouldn't predict it to happen with Kyler because of the contract and Tua with the contract. That's the different part about those two and Darnold. Is Darnold, they got, what is he making, 30 a year, basically, for 3 years?
Well, Ben Solak goes through this. He calls it the lackluster, that's who wrote it, the lackluster offseason of quarterbacks. To which
it's
I'd
a
say,
bad class, yeah.
Well, okay, but like no disrespect, Ben Solak. I
On
love your
paper,
work.
yeah.
You would have said this about a handful of guys that have all – Daniel Jones. People were literally making fun of the Colts going into last year, starting Daniel. Remember we cited the preseason game against Baltimore?
We did, yeah.
And we were like, did you see that game? See how bad he looks? They're going to
I
start
was
him.
all ready to take the Colts under at that point.
Okay.
Guilty.
We had Seahawk fans. They might be retreating today because they got a ring out of that thing. They were texting in, wow, we've downgraded. Wow, we didn't upgrade at all. Wow, we got the same quarterback, but white. Like, they all were saying the same thing. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of, to me, it's not an impossibility or that it's going to happen that the next guy that gets into that position isn't going to win.
Yeah.
But this whole, like, it's a down market. Based on what? What's your criteria? If Malik Willis gets signed by the Minnesota Vikings, are you poo-pooing that?
No.
And then if Malik Willis wins the division and goes to an NFC title game, Is Ben Solak going to write the whole, remember that bad market? There's not 10 of them.
I see what
but
you're
there's
saying.
one of them in this group that's going to Kyler Murray might make me eat my own words on short quarterbacks.
Very well could.
He could win a division. He could go to an NFC title game, AFC title game. I don't know. And I'd have to sit here and go, I can't believe it. I'm legitimately shocked, but I shouldn't be because we've seen this in football.
I think the difficulty I have, because I certainly think there's possibilities for guys to do something similar, right? Like win a Super Bowl, it's a bit of a tall ask. The Kyler and the 2-on-1's the only reason I have a difficulty with it.
Who can make the teams really good? That's the
Again,
criteria, not win a Super Bowl.
Sure.
That's unrealistic.
This gets back to the hard part of who can absorb that salary with those quarterbacks and still be elite around them. That's a difficulty of it. Like if Sam Darnold was making $60 million this year and you're losing $30 million in cap space, what players are you not able to bring in? Is Shaheed not a Seahawk at the deadline? Like the finances of it are totally different. That was what was unique about Daniel Jones, because didn't Daniel Jones sign a one-year deal in Indy? It's basically like a one-year, $15 million deal, if I remember correctly.
They're claiming they're going to sign him, but
sure, I would too, because he was great. I get that you're worried about the health long-term. You don't know when he's going to be back. But
That's the problem.
He played great for you for half of the year, so what the hell? What's your other answer? Anthony Richardson? Figure something out for the first half of the year, and maybe he's back in the back half and can help you out. Sam Darnold signs a $30 million deal. The cap hit next year for Kyler Murray is $53 million, and the cap hit for Tua is $56 million.
I think that's a situation where it'd be Denver-like. After June 1st, they do the cut, and then they just eat a ton of money because they clearly can't. They don't want to.
If you can get something like that where they eat a percentage of the cap hit and all that stuff's way over my head and figuring out, then fine. I understand it, and I'm not saying neither of them can do it. I think there's a prime candidate right here. It just comes down to who's going to make the offer to go get him. To me, this is Mac Jones. The Niners are saying they're not going to trade Mac Jones. They're saying we're going to hold on to him.
They really like Mac. He was
a 2-year deal.
5-3 for them this year in the Brock Purdy missed game.
We really like Mac is translation for make us an offer we can't refuse.
He also admitted, you pointed this out to me, he also admitted that Shanahan was going to draft him.
He said that in one of his exit interviews. He said, Shanahan wanted me in the draft, and now we finally come full circle. And so he was always kind of his guy, which is a whole different conversation about why GMs or coaches get say in certain spots and who got the say in Trey Lance over Mac Jones at the time. But Mac Jones, when he played, was really good this year for a team that didn't have a lot of pieces around him because they had already gone through a lot of injuries early on in the season. He won some massive games for them.
He won at the Rams on Thursday night.
He won in L.A. That was a huge in overtime. And in that game,
and he was hurt in that game.
He had 342 passing yards, 2 tuds, no turnovers.
Yeah, no, he was really good in that game.
And he got beat up.
Yeah, he did.
So, to me, that's the one. If I'm Cleveland is a prime example of this. How long has Cleveland been desperate for a quarterback?
Well, they have a Pro Bowler.
They do. They have 2 first-round picks this year. Remember, because they traded down with Jacksonville last year. Are you willing to send Jacksonville's mid-20 pick for Mac Jones?
By the way, does it not feel like Dylan Gabriel's career's over?
Yeah, I mean, it was never going to begin. He's 5'6".
I
love the guy.
Pick.
Which is, we all said at the time.
We make fun of Shador and all the
what
stuff
are you doing?
But what were they doing?
You drafted a guy who's
5'5". You certainly could be right. I think San Francisco would be inclined to give you that, but they also have to think about if Brock gets hurt again, what's their option going to be?
Sure, but what would you rather have? A first-round pick where you can go address a massive
piece?
hole, or a backup quarterback who's burning a hole in your pocket, who, by the way, next offseason is going to walk for nothing?
Well, for sure.
Because he's got a 2-year deal, and somebody will give him a deal next offseason.
He will get the Darnold deal if he plays again and has the same level of performance. And even if he doesn't, I mean, Darnold said this going into the Super Bowl, how big and important Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan were to his development.
Yeah.
And that, I didn't get to my Clint Kubiak thing. That's something to talk about with Clint Kubiak is he's kind of sitting in the best of both worlds. He just got an entire year to learn how Mike McDonald operates. Mm-hmm. So he got the defensive side of things. And he learned everything he knows growing up with his family and then working under Kyle Shanahan.
It's two pretty good guys to learn underneath.
Those are 2 pretty damn good coaches that he gets to learn from. Here's a couple quick names, because then we'll go. Will Levis.
I certainly wouldn't predict it, but I can't say no.
Jalen Milroe. Are the Seahawks completely done with that?
That's a weird, because when did they draft him? 3rd round? When was he picked?
Round 3.
It was pretty early, if I remember correctly. I mean, that to me was always going to be a 3 or 4 year project anyway, so I wouldn't get rid of him yet. But in 2 years, you might have that call.
2 obvious names: Tanner McKee.
Yeah, I like Tanner McKee in Houston.
In Philly.
Or Philly, sorry. Who am I thinking? Davis
You're thinking
Mills.
Of Davis Mills.
He's also on this list for me.
Yeah, he's the next name.
I'd trade C.J. Stroud if I were Houston. There's another hot take for you. Make Davis Mills my quarterback. I'm not paying C.J. Stroud. You see that playoff game? I'm not giving him $50 million a year.
Dude.
Davis Mills won more games than C.J. Stroud did this year.
Is that true?
I don't know, but I said it, and you had to think about it. Big comeback against the Jacks. Who had that one? Davis Mills. Should have put him into the playoff game. He probably would have won. Been in the AFC title.
Who was it that said you just throw so much crap at the media they can't keep up? You just did that to me with C.J. Stroud. You just broke my thinking. I'm like, wait, would I also trade C.J. Stroud? I think I would.
I mean, again,
he's been seriously
I'm not doing
bad.
it right now. I'd give it another year. To be fair, I'm just tongue-in-cheek here.
He's
but
very bad
if he has another year next year like he did,
gone.
I'm not giving him a deal.
Well, duh. I mean,
why would you pay him? You're winning because of your defense. He's have nothing to do with it.
Dude, Stroud being traded this offseason would be the craziest
I'm going to go look up
thing.
who won more games for Houston this year. I'll pull that up.
It has to be Stroud.
I mean, he missed a good chunk of the year, and he got benched.
All right, well, it's a Mail Sack Tuesday. Get the Mail Sack questions in. Would you trade C.J. Stroud? I love the takes you're giving me last 2 days, dude.
Coming hot, man.
Yeah, you're just sitting in it.
Got to fill that non-football season hole.
We'll get back into football. Dirt and Sprague back with more at 7:46 on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Woo! Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshome.services.com.
They on the spin. No. Tap. Zion stays with it and throws it down. Doug Christie says, we got to talk it over.
There's Pelicans TV, Zion with the bucket. I know you don't know this, but the Kings have now lost 13 games in a row.
Ooh, buddy, that's bad.
That's so bad. It's tied for the longest since moving to Sacramento in 85-86. I wasn't even alive when they did this last time. They're one loss shy of tying the longest losing streak when they were in a different city.
That study, we needed to study on their fall off 2 years ago, right? Lighting the beam and in the playoffs. They have the worst record in the NBA.
Who's stinking it up? The Sacramento Kings because of the Kangs. Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Our friends at Three Mountains Home Services are back with an amazing offer. Buy an AC and get the furnace absolutely free, but only for a limited time. Year-round comfort starts now, guys. Visit threemountainhomeservices.com today. The only one. The Brandman came in this morning and was like, I also was in my car hearing you say Davis Mills won as many games as C.J. Stroud or one more, and then it didn't sound right, but you do like a wait.
As a starting quarterback this year,
yeah.
What was Davis Mills' record? What's your guess?
It has to be 3 to 4 wins.
Okay.
I can't imagine Stroud missed that much time.
4-2? So, he did not win more games than C.J. Stroud. But he was undefeated as a starting quarterback. He was 3-0. So Stroud got hurt in the
more games than that.
I did too. When I initially gave the opinion,
he filled in during the Bronco game. That was the game Stroud got his concussion.
So they lost 18-15. Mills had more yards than Stroud in that game, but Stroud started it. He then started against Jacksonville and beat them. Started against Tennessee and beat them, and started against Buffalo and beat them. And then Stroud came back.
Dude, Stroud's numbers on the year: 3,000 yards, barely over 3,000 yards. 19 touchdowns, 8 picks.
I mean, to the question of what do we learn from Super Bowls, we talked about this yesterday with Schneider. One of the reasons Seattle was in the spot that they were in was, one, they've drafted incredibly well for 2 to 3 straight years, and that's the secret sauce that you just have to figure out. You got to hit on your draft picks. But the other one was they had this commodity in Russell Wilson. They didn't want to pay him again. They didn't think he was worth it, and they got draft picks out of it and got out of a massive contract. And so we always talk about what are you going to learn from a Super Bowl. I think from Seattle, the Darnold angle will definitely be set up for people of who's that next guy? Who's the reclamation project that we can go find? And we just did that segment. The other lesson that should be learned is don't pay a quarterback that's not worth it, because 2 of those guys on that list are in this category. Kyler and Tua didn't last longer than 2 years into their contracts, and their team's like, oh, God, we got to get rid of these guys. Don't put yourself in that position.
Would it shock you if Minnesota traded for C.J. Stroud?
What's it going to cost to get him?
I don't know.
Would you rather give up the capital that it would take to get a Mac Jones or a C.J. Stroud? Because it will take less to get Mac Jones. And that might not even be a right answer, because Mac Jones long-term, I know this is laughable, might end up being a better quarterback than C.J. Stroud.
I think that's the thing, is I can't tell anymore. Has the NFL broken my brain on quarterbacks?
If the Niners would accept a second-round pick for Mac Jones, because they're going to say we're not going to trade him, but again, that's all, of course they're going to say that. If they would accept a second-round pick, but it would take maybe a 1 and a future 3 for Stroud.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Niners like a second and a third, or you know what I mean?
Like, they want to get something for him.
If you're a team that's not 100% certain of your quarterback situation going into this year, the question is,
like, what are the Jets doing?
Well, they were going to draft Dante Moore.
Can we talk about like real NFL teams that are serious about what they're trying to accomplish?
Wow.
Try that. Sorry, Jake. If you're an actual serious NFL team,
yes,
I think you are already into your scouting department on the 2027 QB class, because all of the anecdotal stuff is it's going to be one of the deeper ones we've seen in a while, with all the potential guys that could come out.
Yeah.
So if you have draft capital, you hold the first round, maybe you have 2 first-round picks for 2027. If you think you can find the guy in that class, then maybe you go the Mac Jones route. You don't look to do anything that gets you stuck with a big contract on a quarterback if you think your answer is in 2027.
But how many, I guess I would ask, like, how many fan bases have young quarterbacks that they feel really good about right now? I think what watching Baker and Geno and Darnold and maybe Mac for you, or whoever this is, I think the thing about watching those guys operate is how many franchises are not capable of building up with a young quarterback versus how many franchises are ready to win with a reclamation project.
Yeah, you got everything else answered. You just need the one piece.
Minnesota is ready to win. All they need is the quarterback. We saw it 2 years ago, and we saw what the difference was this year with the quarterback problem.
Yeah, their offensive line was an issue last year. They upgraded a little bit in the offseason. Their defense has been really good. They got maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL. You just need one guy.
So I think
you had the guy, and you just let him go.
Also, that's what I mean. You would go the Mac Jones route or the Malik Willis route without, if you don't jeopardize your 2027 draft capital, because then you can still take a guy and be.
Who's the biggest quarterback in 27? You keep mentioning that. Are you talking
about
Arch?
What?
Are you talking about Arch?
There's him. There's
Dante.
There's.
Okay.
I just have such a hard time doing that. I don't disagree with the point.
But if you've got the reclamation project and you feel he's solid and you sign him to a Sam Darnold-like contract, you can still take the guy in 27, and if he needs to sit, you're fine.
I genuinely would be torn now.
But if you lock yourself into a Kyler or a Tua contract
But if their contract's mostly covered, are you locked in? I would be genuinely torn right now as an NFL executive, seeing Schneider do what he did, seeing the Eagles win last year with Hurts. Like, it's all based on a lot of other stuff, right? Like, you want the elite guy. Buffalo ain't been to the Super Bowl. They have an elite guy.
No, Burrow's top 5
Burrow
quarterback.
Can't get to the
He's
playoffs.
been to
They have an elite guy.
Lamar's
Lamar
never played
hasn't
in
been
one.
To one. He's an elite guy. And, like, I mean no disrespect to these names. You will always want the elite guy. The Chargers have one.
They can't win a playoff game.
They can't win a playoff game. And some people just point it all at Justin, but, like, I just think it's really hard right now to sit there and nonchalantly say, oh, I'm going to go with we're going to pick the next guy. Like the Raiders are doing this. Oh, we're going Mendoza, no questions asked. Really? No questions asked? Because if you told me Fernando Mendoza was a guy that was a backup because it didn't work with the garbage-ass Raiders that emerged on the Miami Dolphins in 6 years.
Right. Wouldn't be surprised.
Welcome back home. Oh, look, Mendoza's balling out with the right coach. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I think that's the hard part is how many teams are willing to Stroud. If Stroud has the same kind of year, I mean, they have to pay him, don't they?
3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks.
If you told me next year it's 3,600 yards, it's 22 touchdowns, and it's 10 picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him.
And 64.5% completion
They probably
percentage.
will, but I would not pay him.
Okay, but you see the crux of the argument here?
Yeah.
This is what makes this difficult.
It's not an easy answer. And you look at the 27 class, I see Swag's point. We also kind of said that about this class.
We
that
did.
was supposed to be
And then
Drew
Nussmeier,
Aller and Nussmeier
Klubnik.
and all these guys, and they didn't end up having good years. And so it's a roll of the dice as well because you never know.
Well, that's why I say you need to go into your scouting department
Sure.
and say, hey.
But a lot of the names on that list, Julian Sayin, Dante, certainly had ups and downs this year. Arch Manning, horrible start, decent finish. Maava at USC. Lenora Sellers was not good. I don't think it was his fault, but he didn't have a good year.
Who's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC East next year?
Dak Prescott.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, the Daniels injury stuff that's there for me. And I know Dak's got his injury history. I get it, but yeah.
Hurts?
You know how I feel about Hurts.
Year 2 Dart with a good coach?
I might pick Hurts fourth in that division, to be honest with you.
Over Dart?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying, though? Like, and the Cowboys don't make the playoffs.
No. Doesn't matter.
God, it's a weird world, that sport.
Totally is. It's the most important position on the field, but even if you have it, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. And if you don't have something that's elite, it doesn't mean that you can't win. It's a wild thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Good luck. Everybody making big decisions.
Davis Mills, keep racking up dubs. I'll trade for you any day, buddy.
I think you got me. I think I'm trading C.J. Stroud today.
Did I convince you on that segment?
I think you did.
I'd give it one more year. Let it cook. Let it cook.
There's too much risk in that.
But if you're 21 touchdowns, 12 picks, 62% completion, I'm not giving you $50 million a year. What are you, crazy?
Didn't get to my college basketball notes there. Loaded third hour. It's a Mail Sack Tuesday, hour 3 during Sprague 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
1080 AM.
First on the fan, a career night for Tamani Kamara. 30 points. He made 8 threes. Sparked a 49-point third quarter for Portland, who blew out the Sixers 135-118. Now, Philly did not have Joel Embiid. Didn't matter. Portland now finishes up the first half of the season on the road. Wednesday at the Timberwolves, Thursday at the Jazz. With a potential number 1 pick in the NBA draft, Darren Peterson sitting out for Kansas due to illness. Jayhawks still gave number 1 Arizona their first loss of the season at Allen Fieldhouse, 82-76. First time Kansas has beaten a number 1 ranked team in the history of that building. Oregon Ducks men's basketball team at the other end of things suffered their 10th straight loss, this time in Indiana, 92-74, the longest losing streak of Dana Altman's head coaching career. Ducks are back home Saturday hosting Penn State. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the work.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan. You know, at 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. We got a lot to get to in the next 2 hours of radio.
Go through every division in the NFL and ask yourself, who's the best quarterback? And then ask yourself, did they win their division?
It's a really fun game to play. Who's your best quarterback in the AFC North? Because it certainly isn't the one that won the division.
I would probably go with Lamar, but I understand why people go Burrow.
It wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
It wasn't Rodgers, and it certainly wasn't whatever was happening in Cleveland.
That much I know.
What about the NFC North?
NFC North.
You'd probably say Love, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Over Goff?
Yeah.
Well, neither one of them won the division.
No, neither one did. I don't know if I could do Caleb after 1 year.
You said Dak. Dak didn't win the division.
No, Dak was the best this year.
NFC South?
NFC South was
probably say Baker.
Probably
Baker didn't win the division.
No, he did not.
NFC West.
It was Matt Stafford.
All right. AFC West. It's Mahomes. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, his numbers weren't as good. He's overall the best quarterback.
What I'm saying, but even
sure.
go through it this year, and I know injuries played a part in it, but my point is man,
how many did you have
world.
that? Jacksonville, you would argue, did with Lawrence. I think he was the best quarterback in the AFC South this year.
The only problem with that is he was until Daniel Jones. He wasn't until Daniel Jones got hurt.
First 6-7 weeks of the year, it was Daniel Jones.
But it was Daniel Jones most of the way, and then he got hurt, and they lost 8 straight games.
And we'd all say Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the AFC East, and they didn't win it. So you maybe have 1, maybe 2 examples of division winners at most, not a lot of them. I want to stick in the NFL to start this hour. By the way, I got some other stuff in my notes we'll get to. Some college football news over the weekend I want to talk about.
You got college football notes?
Dude, you know I always got college football notes in the notes. It's always there.
Sicko.
I'm curious. I saw this yesterday, and it was kind of random, off the beaten path, and I'm wondering, good idea, bad idea? Should we protect teams from themselves? So in the NBA, we have this scenario from time to time where, and I don't know if you can correct me or enlighten me on it, if there's a limit on this, but you get these trades, like the one that will always stand out is the Paul George SGA trade, where you trade all these future number 1 picks and you go make a move to try and win now. And then you look up and you're like, oh, God, the Clippers won't have a first-round pick for a decade, it seems like, right? It's forever. Now, I don't know if there's a limit in the NBA on how many that you can trade. There is a limit in the NFL. So I don't know how many people know this. There is a limit of you cannot trade more than 3 years' worth of draft picks in the NFL when you're making a move.
The only thing in the NBA I know off the top of my head is you can't trade I think it's consecutive years, right?
Yeah, that's
Isn't that
when
what
the
it is?
So consecutive number 1
like
picks,
you can do
basically?
25,
27.
and then you got to do 27.
That's where the pick swap came in.
Yeah, that's why
you're
pick
not
swaps.
technically trading a pick.
You
You're
still
just,
have the
If
other.
you're
you
worse
have a
than them, you
first-round
get the pick and you
Yeah.
swap it, right?
Yeah,
So the NFL has a limit right now, the 3 years of NFL
And I
draft
think in
picks.
the NBA, you can't trade a pick further out than 7 years.
Okay.
So
Thank you for that.
I wanted to bring it up real quick. Yeah, go ahead. I'll
So
look at
basically,
the
the reason I'm bringing this up, though, is I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. Schefter was on McAfee, And he talked about how the NFL, like we're now into the offseason, right? What do we do? Okay, onside kicks didn't work, or we bring it back 4th and 15 options. Like, right? Like this is now that time where we're going to tinker. What do we want to change? What do we not want to change? The NFL is going to consider changing the limit on years of draft picks that you can trade to 5.
Oh, man.
So essentially, if you
wanted
one
team's going to give up 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could essentially, if you wanted to go get insert player here, you could trade your next 5 first-round picks in order to do it.
I love it. Let teams do what they want to do, man.
So so just take the restrictor plates off, no bowling with bumpers, and we're just Wild West. Who cares?
Dude, you could just say unlimited. I really wouldn't care.
10 years of number one picks. I know that's nobody would ever do that.
But it's no different than the conversation we were having not that long ago where it was like, should the NFL's quarterback salary even count on the salary cap? And it's like, but why?
Right.
My argument the whole time, and I haven't changed it, is like, why? If teams want to pay a guy $60 million,
figure it out,
and a huge percentage of their cap is tied to one player, let them. If they want to make that decision, that's their decision. You have to navigate the cap the way everybody else does. If you want to trade 8 picks,
can you imagine?
Why should I? Why would I have a problem?
Who would be the first team to say yes to one of these? Would Cincinnati do it with Burrow? Like if you offered them 6 first-round picks,
what's the amount of picks that you have to say yes?
The Rams are the kings of the F them picks.
Yeah,
they need a
Joe Burrow
replacement for Stafford.
Okay, so what? But what is the amount of picks Cincinnati has to trade Joe Burrow?
Like you have to at some point say yes, don't you? You haven't won anything. You've been in one Super Bowl.
7 first-round picks for Joe Burrow.
Yes, the next 7 years of ones.
But then Burrow
I have 2
goes to the Rams.
first-round picks for the next 7 years.
Yeah, but
2 ones I could package. Are you kidding me?
I know. Then you could package those.
I got 14 first-round picks in the next 7 years.
That means the Browns don't have to give the big free agent contract
right.
for a while.
Yeah, I just take 2 quarterbacks in the first round for 3 straight drafts. One of them's got to hit.
Bro, you could take 2 of those first-round picks if you're Cincinnati. You could draft a great defensive player and then not pay him.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the possibilities of all the players you chose not to pay.
You'd have the ability to do that.
Oh, my God. The Bengals would be rolling in talent they'd never want to pay.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting yesterday, and I'm with you 100%. Because we know there's going to be a team out there, and these have aged really bad in the NBA. That's what the analogy I thought of.
So it's 5, huh?
They're going to contemplate extending it from 3 to 5 draft picks to 5 draft picks that you can trade, which would open it up a little bit. Like the Brooklyn Nets went through this with the trade for Pierce and KG and those guys back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And Boston built their entire modern run off of that trade to get rid of aging guys. They got the ones they hit on Tatum and they hit on Brown and other picks, and here they were. And then the OKC Thunder are the other prime example of this, where the Clippers gave up everything and all their draft picks, and the Thunder have now built potentially a dynasty.
So the Clippers ended up trading 5 picks plus Gallinari, Gilgeous-Alexander, and pick swaps in 23 and 25.
So 5 picks, 2 pick swaps, and 2 players.
It was 3 picks by them,
Sweet
22,
Jesus.
24, 26, all unprotected.
Yeah.
2021 first-round pick via Miami, unprotected. 2023 first-round pick via Miami, protected. And then pick swap rights in 23, 25, and they gave him the MVP and Gallinari.
Dear God,
we can't. The one thing about that trade, I get it. Was there? Do you recall in the moment a lot of noise about how dumb or irresponsible that was? Or
I don't
was
remember
it like a celebration.
I don't remember an ounce of what the hell are you doing.
It was more like, oh my God, the Clippers are gonna get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
They're going to dominate the NBA for the next 5 years, as
Yeah.
we all thought would happen, and they never went to a finals.
Yeah, no.
They never won anything of consequence. So, yeah, I love taking the restrictor plates off. Did you guys know that this was I didn't know there was a rule on the number of years of draft picks that you could trade.
I didn't, but I'm not surprised to hear you tell me there is.
Yeah.
Is there any quarterback where 7 first-round picks, that quarterback's untouchable? Kansas City couldn't do it.
No, they couldn't do it. Josh Allen, I think because of what the fan base has gone through and what he means to that city, I don't think you could do it. Those are the only 2 that I would put into that
And the
category.
whole league, that's the only 2?
League. Yeah. Hell, Baltimore didn't even want Lamar Jackson 3 years ago. He just won an MVP.
I wasn't thinking about him because they barely wanted him.
Right.
The Chargers?
I
think you'd have to.
You have to.
You have to.
Look, I love my guy. I think he's elite. He's never won a playoff game.
I know.
Somebody offers you 6 first-round picks for him? Are you kidding me? Minnesota calls and says, we'll give you 6 ones? You got to make the trade. You have to.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a number, and I want you to say you have to.
Okay.
Kansas City, Mahomes, 8.
No, I can't do it.
9.
There's not 10. 10 bare minimum. 10 is where we start the negotiations.
10 first-round
and
draft
then what
picks.
else am I getting on top of that? There's got to be some other sweetener in
You
there.
imagine the press conference they'd hold.
I mean, look, guys, we were offered 10 first-round picks for this. What do you want from us here?
We'll find the next Patrick, we promise.
In the next 20 years.
20 years.
Give me a break, dude. We're going to land on one of these guys. So I saw that yesterday from Schefter. I thought that was interesting. Not to continue to make things worse for New England, but it is going to keep getting worse for New England.
Doom and gloom a day after the Super Bowl.
But they also, like, if you're a modern-era Patriots fan, like you got 6 rings. You're fine. They had 53 drives in the playoffs. The New England Patriots did 53 possessions.
You're going to tell me they scored 6 touchdowns.
They averaged 1.13 points per drive in their 4 postseason games. 1.13. You ready for this?
Yeah. In
2017, the Cleveland Browns went 0-16. They didn't win a game. Shout out to our guy Hugh. They averaged 1.22 points per drive. The New England Patriots in their 4 playoff games averaged fewer points per drive than the 2017 0-16 Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
So
that's the tough part, man. They had a great year. You know, Vrabel, coach of the year. They have, it's crazy to say this, they have a lot of work to do.
Yes, they do.
Because I don't know if all that stuff's going to break your way again next year, if you're largely going to run it back or just think it's all going to naturally develop. You got to tweak. You got to manipulate. I'd get out of Diggs now. Cardi B did. I'm out. Like, if she's out, I'm out. Like, we're unfollowing each other, too, on the football field.
You're spending $2 million on a Super Bowl after party and you're not going? Screw that, dude. I'm going to that party. She didn't go to. She paid $2 million for a party. Didn't even show up.
I think she's pretty rich.
I mean, I know. She'll be all right.
Yeah,
okay.
I think she was on the stage of the Super Bowl halftime show. I think she's fine.
It should be okay. Yeah.
My point is, you got to make decisions that don't feel like the right decision sometimes before they're the right decisions.
Yes, you do. Let's dig in the football world. I got a calendar look for you, for anybody wondering what is ahead. Through the darkness, there is light, and I will tell you what that is. Also, do we like this move, and do we foresee it being successful? We'll get to those next on The Fan.
a.m.
We'll play the fun game of what does he know and what is your random thing that could receive a good payout. I'll explain that coming up bottom of the hour.
I want to luge.
You want to luge? You want to try luge? We got the luge on right now.
I forget that luge is a part of the Olympics and exists in general, and then every 4 years I see it, and are they in control, or is their body just going 80 miles an hour and they're hoping they're the fastest one?
Every time I see this stuff on TV, it's like when you see somebody do like a freakish, like they shove a sword down their throat, like those magicians. Yeah, easy. And you wonder, like, how did you discover that you could, like, how did that start? How did you shove something down there and realize that you could pull it back out and it would actually work?
Well, it's easy. It's sledding. They went sledding and said, who could go down the fastest? And then they made a track for it.
You're not going 70 miles an hour? And are people really good at, like, sledding? Is that a skill? Is sledding a skill?
Sledding's definitely a skill.
How is it a skill? You're on an inner tube going down the side of...
Are you a butt man or a stomach man?
I'm a butt man.
Are you head first?
You never go head first.
You go head first all the time.
I want to live. I want to survive.
What are you scared of?
Butt and feet first.
You're a traditionalist.
I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah.
That's the way God intended sledding to happen.
You're an 1800 sledder.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get into this century, Grandpa. You go head first, and you just run and jump and land on your stomach and go down.
Who gets the idea? You know what I want to do, man? I want to do the luge.
Would you try it?
No.
You wouldn't try it?
A sheet of ice going 80 miles an hour down the side of a mountain? No. I'm out.
Counter take. Doesn't look like it would hurt that bad if you crashed.
That's a bad counter take.
Is that a bad?
That's a bad take. That's a really bad
What's
take.
worse? Yeah,
Has anybody ever died luging?
No
Yes.
way. When?
It's been a while, but yeah, they have been.
People die in car crashes. That doesn't stop.
They've
you from
been
getting
outside
in.
outside of the track. They got so bad, and then
How do you spell luging?
Luge.
Luge is luge.
Luging. Yes, while rare, it is possible to die.
I mean, you can die from anything. You can die eating. While rare, yeah, of course.
Oh wait, that auto-corrected to laughing.
You can die from laughing? You got a massive heart attack?
While rare, it could have happened before. You never know. You start laughing too hard. Be careful, man.
I do want to try luging. It looks fun.
Yeah, you got to basically steer with the inside of your calves on those little...
Oh, that's how you're steering?
Yeah, dude, you got to steer the sled.
It looks like they just lay down and go.
No,
and then it's just like,
hold on.
And then you know, if you get going too fast, you got to drop a heel to kind of correct yourself on the ice.
Yeah. No, thank you, man.
Dude, bobsledding and luging, I want to try.
Bobsled, I'd be more willing to
I'd
try.
be all over.
Because then you're encased. You got 3 other dudes with you, so I'm not alone on this sheet of ice.
But then you see the Cool Runnings crash, and you're like, that looks terrible.
The question is not what you would want to do in terms of the skill, but where would you feel safest in the bobsled?
Probably in the second to last spot.
So number 3 in the order. You don't want to be 1. You don't want to be the guy in the rear because you fall
also
off the
why?
back.
Why do I think that?
Because then
You're probably going sideways. You're not. What are you crashing into a wall? That's not happening. You're hitting the side wall.
I got meat around me. I'm going to bounce off other meat. We'll be all right. I won't be the exposed one.
No, Dusty just reminded me. 2010, the Vancouver Olympics. There was a luger from the country of Georgia, and he flew off the track.
Jesus. And he died?
And died, yeah.
Jesus.
Live on the Olympics?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was in training. I'm not 100% sure.
Dude,
but,
I'm not.
yeah.
No, I'm not doing a sport that I could die at. That's where I draw the line.
Put like a safety net over the top so I don't fly out at least?
That's a good point.
You give me some protection there.
Have we upgraded our technology around the track since then?
We can't care more about foul balls than we do the losers.
Has anybody died racing since Dale Earnhardt?
Not that I'm aware of.
Didn't they make a bunch of safety changes? Like it was
protocols.
like a huge change after that?
I thought there was something, it was like the old dirt, and it was a NASCAR
You're
driver.
talking about Tony Stewart hitting the guy.
Yeah.
Remember, was that murder?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a big story.
Right.
That's different than getting in
He was
an
out of
accident.
the car, though, wasn't he? He got out of the car, and then Tony Stewart ran him over.
Tony Stewart, he was yelling at Tony Stewart, and Stewart clipped him. Claims he didn't see him or couldn't avoid him, and he did. Yeah, he ended up dying.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I think he got.
That's different though. But yeah, I do remember
different.
that story. Yeah, somebody runs you over in a luge, you're definitely dying.
But of the Olympic sports, like if you were to rank, you'd try luging before you'd try the jump on skiing, wouldn't you? Do you watch those people? They're licking the tip of the ski. It's crazy how they are positioned, their bodies. You'd rather do that? And you're going down just like a mountain?
Now I want to see the slow-mo of a guy just like tongue extended.
I really
trying to get the tip of his skis.
I mean, I'm watching these losers, and I'm like, I know this is hard. I know they
love
train.
the new drone.
The drone shots of all of this are incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
For the downhill skiing,
Look
too,
I'm
have you seen the drone
now.
shots for that? It's unbelievable.
This is crazy. A drone being right behind her.
How skilled do you got to be to fly that drone through that, too?
I think it does it by itself.
Oh, is it an AI drone?
Probably. Why would
do
you?
That? You control them?
Well, what if somebody screws up controlling it?
Runs into the gal's helmet?
I'm just saying, like,
We've gotten totally sidetracked by the Olympics. I apologize.
Would you
Welcome to non-football season.
What's the bumpy hill skill
slalom?
The moguls.
The moguls?
No,
the bumps
thank you.
Or the gates.
The
bumps is moguls, where they do a couple jumps on the way down.
I do it because I could pizza my way down.
The ones where they go back and they zigzag down
That's
hills.
slalom.
Like
yeah,
I could
slaloming?
control.
No, thank you.
I could control the pace on skis significantly more than I could control the pace on
you can
a luge.
ski?
I mean, I have skied many a time
so
in my
if I
life.
put you on the Mount Hood right now,
I could ski down the mountain.
Well, the
Really?
slalom courses are on.
I'm
The slope
I'm a middle-class
isn't
white.
as
What do you
great.
want, you know?
Yeah, the slope isn't
We all
as
know how to
great on the
ski.
slalom courses.
but you're from Selhood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we do. We used to go every year for Christmas Eve. We go up and ski. That was our family tradition every year on
I guess
Christmas
that's
Eve.
a bad example. Like, can you ski?
Yeah.
You
No,
look like you can't
I've been
ski.
skiing once in my life. I was playing basketball every winter.
Where'd your kid get it from then? That's a weird.
It was his mom's side.
They all were
that's
into
what-
snowboarding and
yeah,
mountain
well,
stuff
She,
and-
she was from Idaho, so they were skiing all
Swag
the
was
time.
definitely the kid who went to Timberline and then was like, "Daddy, I'm going to the lodge now."
Let's go to
No, neither of my
Breckenridge.
parents ever skied, so
Yeah.
I never.
You got to have a parent that does it in
You
order
have
to
to
grow
have
up and do it.
somebody or neighbors that go all
Yeah,
the time or
a
something.
buddy
We
whose
di-
family takes him out.
I didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
anybody like in my immediate life that went up to the mountain all
I
the time.
snowboarded a couple times, but yeah, I didn't have anybody in my family that did it.
I probably couldn't get down a mountain snowboarding. I've never really snowboarded before.
Well, somebody asked me if I'd skied recently, and I said I've only been in skis once. A buddy of mine went to Sun River, and he invited me, and we went up to the Bachelor, and they put us in rental skis. And I couldn't stop my feet from separating. Like I kept like doing, and I'm like, dude, what am I supposed to do here?
You've got to go.
You got to control it.
You
You got to
gotta
hold it
That's
together.
what they call it a snowplow. You
That's
get
right.
those tips pointed in.
Well, then we
Lick your tips.
We tipped in, and then I went and
It's
I
called
tumbled.
the pizza. You do the pizza. You put the tips together. You do the pizza.
Yeah.
You slow yourself down.
I was
Exactly.
pizzaing one ski into another ski. Anyways, clipped out, and we went sledding.
No,
the
I've
whole
asked
time.
him. I've asked him.
Done. This is
I've asked my
stupid.
son a couple of times. It's like, all right, if I come up sometime, do you,
You should
think
go do it. Why don't you get into it? Go snowboarding with him. That'd be fun. You're young at heart, Swag. You could go do that.
That's also how you tear.
How
an
are
ACL
you
at
on like a
your age.
skateboard
Oh my
really
god!
bad.
or rollerblades?
Could you imagine him on a skateboard? I'm
'Cause,
bringing
like,
a skateboard
roller?
in
I
tomorrow.
could roller skate, old-fashioned roller
If
skating.
you could old-fashioned roller skate, then go
Yeah.
ski. You could go ski. Skiing's not that
I did
hard.
okay. My one time I went. Friends of mine in college one time took me up for spring break,
Yeah.
and I
go
was
slow.
okay. I could get down not the rope toe, but the actual
The bunny
first
hill.
bunny hill with
Yeah.
with the lift.
Well,
You
just
and the
bail,
I could
too.
get down by the end of the day. I could get down.
Okay. You just fall over too. If you're losing control, just fall over.
The worst was we didn't
Snow, it
get,
doesn't hurt that much.
we didn't get hurt sledding next to the parking lot at Bachelor, but we created jumps. And like an 8-year-old kid went down our jump,
Uh-oh.
and he went way too fast, and he flew off the area and landed on the hood of a car. Ended up being okay, but like that
all right.
thump, that noise, and that
You didn't
was
feel
just
great about
like-
that at the start. You're like, uh-oh. I just
You all
killed
right,
an
dude?
8-year-old,
But no,
man.
I keep talking about PAX. It's like, all right, how do you think I would do? Would I like
Go be a mountain man.
be in the hospital
Dude,
by the
come
end of the day, or he's like,
You figure it out.
I don't know that he had the most confidence in his old man, but he's like,
You got to find the ones that aren't like, you know how they have like the rapids, the class of rapids? You just got to find the one that's like, it's just a general downhill.
You
it's
need
a hill.
the 2s
You'll
and
be
the
fine.
3s. Hold off
Yeah.
on the 4s and the 5s.
No diamond, 5-star, whatever they call
Till
those
you
things.
know what
like,
you're doing.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Me and Swag need to have a mountain man off.
I think you should.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun competition.
Always
for
calling me a
YouTube.
little bitch. Look at you. You've never done anything outdoors.
Remember the famous Travis and
No.
Wilcox Timberline mountain videos that exist?
Now, snowmobiling is a blast.
What?
You don't remember those?
T and Dubs did a mountain video?
Brandman can talk about those videos. They definitely exist. They went. I don't remember why. They went up and did something at a mountain.
Oh my God! I just remembered a Wilcox story from the mountain.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
that was a thing. So
Dude.
maybe we won't get that. You know,
That's a
anyways.
great off-air
No,
story.
if I
off-air
had money to buy stupid toys, I would get snowmobiles because that's a blast.
Sure you would, yeah.
I've had so much fun doing that.
You
a
can't
few
crash
times.
that. I mean,
you can crash
but-
it.
That's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Here are the dates, by the way, to keep in mind for those who are wondering. If you're looking for light at the end of the tunnel, you ready for this?
Oh, the sun's setting later.
Well, that is happening, which is delightful. Going for walks at like 5:30 now, you're like, hey, a little bit of sunlight out. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Do you realize we're 13 days away from the start of the Combine?
Yeah.
13 days away.
They asked Mike McDonald yesterday because they did their goodbye Super Bowl.
You got
like,
2
hey,
weeks.
it's 2 weeks. And he's like, it's a great problem to have.
He's not going to see his kid till August, dude. 27 days away from free agency.
Yeah.
27 days away from the opening of free agency.
There is no offseason.
47 days away from the annual league meetings, which what kind of nonsense will come out of that?
We always get stupid stuff from those owners. How many more Epstein guys will we have by those
free
meetings?
agency allows me to use my favorite phrase.
Will any of those
in an
guys
update,
from the Epstein list be at the meetings? Nothing have happened to them.
Of course they will be. 72 days away from the NFL draft.
Yeah,
72 days away. 92 days away from the release of the projected schedule release, which turns into like a month-long thing.
That's one of my worst, least favorite days.
So dumb. 153 days away from training camp and 177 days away from the start of next year's preseason. There you go. That's what you got to look forward to.
No offseason, man.
Start your countdown clock. I didn't get to my college football story. Let's do that next. And then, we also have to ask the question of who would you protect? I saw this and I thought it was interesting because there might be something on the horizon. We'll get to that. Mail side coming up at 9:15. Back after this, first year Swag with Sports Center.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers keep inching closer to full health. Monday night, we saw Denny Avdia and Scoot Henderson on the floor for the first time this season. Portland had a 49-point third quarter to blow out the Sixers. Now, Philly did not have Joel Embiid, but Portland gets the 135-118 victory. Tumani Kamara, a career-high 30 points and a career-high 8 made threes, led the way. Blazers on the road tomorrow to face the Timberwolves. Clint Kubiak, fresh off his Super Bowl victory with the Seahawks, officially introduced as the new Raiders head coach Monday. Las Vegas holds the number 1 overall pick for April's draft in Pittsburgh. Oregon Ducks men's basketball team just couldn't contain Indiana in the second half at Assembly Hall. Hoosiers gave Oregon their 10th consecutive loss, 92-74. Longest losing streak Dana Altman has presided over in his 37-year head coaching career. Ducks will try to end it at home this Saturday against Penn State. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live a.m.
Can you see into the future? Can this guy see into the future? I'll explain that. We'll get to that coming up in 10 minutes. Who do you protect? Top of the hour. And then Millsack coming up at 9:15. Fun Winter Olympics conversation. Enjoyed this one. Somebody texted in, I like the connective tissue in my ankles and knees and hips, so I stopped skiing.
Yeah, dude.
Another one, if Swag can swim 500 yards into the ocean in Hawaii, he can ski down Ski Bowl once or twice. This is true. This is true. If he can survive the sharks, he could survive a mountain.
I mean,
lesson of the
he's
day.
had 2 all-time outrageous things that he's never gonna have to back up that he has just been allowed to say.
What do you mean?
He could swim from our old station across the Willamette, no problem.
He did. He said he could swim across the river.
And he could swim 500 yards, or he routinely swims 500 yards out into the Pacific when he goes to Hawaii.
I'll send you pictures from the Adriatic Sea this summer.
Hangs out with the dolphins.
You're
comes
not
home.
swimming 500 yards.
If you were 500 yards out into the water, could we even see you in a
We
picture?
wouldn't see you.
That's 2. That's 5 football fields. That's a lot of football fields.
Yeah.
You could just throw a ball
Zoom
out there,
in.
watch it float away, take a photo, and I'm like, that's my head.
Also, how do we confirm his? We confirm it. Somebody said skeleton is way worse. Is that the one where you go head first?
Skeleton's head first, luge is
So
on
it's
your back.
luge
is on your
head
back.
first, though. Skeleton?
Skeleton is head first on your stomach.
Psychos, dude.
Dude, would you
Psychos.
feel more in control head first or
Your
feet
chin's
first?
like 3 inches off the ice.
I'd much rather be feet first.
But I kind of feel like I'd feel more in control head first.
Do you steer with your arms on that one, or do you steer with your feet too?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Because if it's your hands, I think you feel more in control head first.
That I will
I
grant
think
you.
there's
like
something.
If I'm steering with my feet,
they
are
have
you
some
skilled with
sort
your
of
feet?
handles or something in the sled.
I don't know if I'm skilled with my feet enough to be doing luge.
You ever pick stuff up with your toes?
No.
No.
I
Something
can.
on the ground?
I can do it.
Like
I can
there's
grab a sock or
I dropped the
something.
kitchen towel. It's on the floor. Let's grab it.
No, I generally
that all
just
the
stretch a little bit.
Got to make sure your toes stay in shape. Over the weekend, this happened, and I don't know how you guys reacted to it. I saw it, and I was like, dude, that's really cool. And I'm curious to see how it goes. Now, there's a couple of more hoops that they got to jump through in terms of the short-term availability of it, but it was announced over the weekend that North Dakota State has agreed to a deal to join the Mountain West Conference in football only. So they're not going to join in all sports. They will stay FCS in the other sports. Just in college football, they're going to join the Mountain West Conference, and it will start next year. Now, they got to figure out the immediate eligibility aspect of it because, remember, when you make the FCS to FBS jump, sometimes you got to wait a year or two. So they're applying for immediate eligibility, if you will, to play for a conference title and to go to a bowl game next year. They're also financially forking over a ton of money. They're paying $12.5 million to join the conference. There's an additional $5 million fee that it's going to pay the NCAA to move to the FBS. And this is a program that I believe the number is 10 of the last 15 FCS national championships that they've won, 10 of 15. So, I mean, just an absolute dominant run, the most dominant program at that level in college football and FCS college football has made the choice to go the James Madison route. James Madison, remember, famously did this 4 or 5 years ago. They make the jump up. They join the Sun Belt, and this year they're in the college football playoff, and now North Dakota State is following suit. I personally love it. Do we have any reaction to North Dakota State joining the Mountain West Conference?
I think this came out Friday afternoon, didn't it?
I think it started to percolate a little bit, and then it became
report was that
finalized.
they were going to join.
Yeah.
So are they going to be? Do people think they're going to be eligible year one? Because wasn't James Madison?
They were not eligible.
No, they had to wait
weren't.
like 3 or 4 years. That's the normal process.
So why is this
But
different?
I think
I don't know. That's a good question.
I do think after James Madison, they
changed some stuff.
Like made it less time you had to wait before you were
I mean,
eligible.
you pay $12.5 million, you should be eligible year one, point blank. For any institution to have to pay that. Look,
what's the reasoning against it? That's what I'm curious.
I have no idea.
Because you're
like
almost
if you're making the jump and
they're at a disadvantage. You could argue
exactly.
They're coming
but
in.
if you're making the jump and you've passed through all the criteria to be an FBS school, then you should be an FBS school. And what are we doing?
Yeah, if you did the jump the opposite way, then I would get it. Like if you're an FBS program and you go down to the you're like, dude, screw this. We're not doing it anymore. We're going FCS football.
Then you should have a year
Then
out.
you should have a
Yeah.
year where you got to wait around. So they're going to apply to have immediate eligibility for that stuff, but I don't know if they will, to your point on James Madison.
Well, so here's the follow-up to this. One, I went and read some of their message board stuff. Obviously, it's a very passionate fan base with a lot of success. They're jacked about it because, one, who doesn't want to move up? They are sad about losing out on the FCS playoff because that meant a lot to them, when you're a big fan of that. But they're really confident and feel good about it because of their coach. I think Timmy
Polsak. What was that? you say Polsak?
Yeah.
What's his name? Polasek?
I forget. I don't know.
I think Polasek is how you say it.
Polsak. Yeah,
Tim Polasek. I think. I don't know.
I was kind of close. They like him, and so they think he's the right guy to take him into this conference. This is interesting from the Mountain West perspective.
They needed another football team.
They need another football team, and so now you've got one that from their level was a juggernaut, and a lot of people feel like they can be the new James Madison, the one that goes up. They were way too good for their level, and now here they go. They shoot up, and they can hang with this level. Did you see the Mountain West TV media rights was announced?
I did not see. I saw it was announced, but I didn't see the number. What'd they get?
Still waiting on the Pac-12s, by the way.
Yes, we are. Next week. 2 weeks.
It's coming.
2 weeks.
30 days.
It's going to happen.
I think they're making 3.5 each.
That's pretty bad.
Which doesn't make me feel great.
I mean, you're better than the Mountain West.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you took the Mountain West best team. Boise State's been the only viable thing in the Mountain West for a long time.
Right.
And you took them.
Prove it.
I mean, you will get more than $3.5 million.
Prove it.
How much more? I don't know, but you will get.
I know some Pac-12 fans are not worried about that. They're going to get like $14 million a year, which I don't have any of that kind of faith.
Sure,
but if it's even $5, that's going to be. My program's already cheap, and they've got a treasure chest of money that they just refuse to spend.
You do.
So, and they're still stuck in the litigation with the Mountain West. They haven't agreed to that settlement yet on the poaching of the teams and whatnot. But
no,
I saw this news. I thought it was fun, and I know that Montana, Montana, and some of those schools are starting to wonder.
They'll kick the tires on this too. Montana State should. I mean, you contemplate it. I think if you're a North Dakota State fan too, I get the loss of the FCS playoffs. And maybe this isn't the way you should approach it because it's not a long-term view; it's a short-term view.
2014 playoff, I think
it is. But if you're North Dakota State, aren't you tapped out? You've won 10 of 15 national titles.
Yeah, it's either them.
Like, how many more national titles can you win until you're like, that's cool, we did it again. Hey, we did it again. Yeah, we did it again.
But without us being involved in it, like you don't have a fandom, I don't have a fandom, there's a history with it.
There is. And you got to find the new history.
There's no different than the Pac-12 if Oregon wins a bunch in a row or USC dominates the conference for a while or whatever. Like, there's still a history involved. You still play these teams and you still hate them.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And you love to beat them. Even if you've won 10 of 15, you want to win 11 of 16. Like, you want to rub it in all the rivals' faces.
Yeah. The interesting part, too, that I think, and again, I don't know how long until they're going to be eligible for postseason stuff and conference title games. So the returning members of the Mountain West are Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, and Wyoming. They've added, remember, they added Northern Illinois in the offseason, and they added UTEP. So that's now their conference. And I look at that football conference, to your point on $3.5 million, like, I don't know if they deserve much more than that.
Sure.
I don't think we're that far off from North Dakota State winning the Mountain West is my point. Like, a Boise State's still there or Fresno's still there. They said UNLV might be something with Dan Mullen. That's the one we got to keep an eye on. They had another good year this year, and they were back in the conference title game.
I don't know what to make of that whole conference and all those teams. I can't even name all those coaches.
No, I can't either. But the point is, I don't know. I don't think many of them or I don't view any of them the way that I viewed Boise State. Because Boise State's been a consistent force, no matter the head coach and all that. They've been around for 25 years essentially, and so you get that out of the way. Like, they have a pathway here to go win your conference, and then as we saw last year, dude, you win your conference and you're ranked, you got a shot at a college football playoff appearance. And so North Dakota State's gonna have that. I can't wait to see what teams schedule non-conference games with them and go. They got a dome that they play. I think they call it the Thunderdome or something. They got a dome that they play in. It'd be a fun road trip to go on and go play at North Dakota State. Check out the dome.
My uncle was from South Dakota, and he used to constantly talk about how hard, because he's older, like, life would be. They weren't super rich.
I'd say so. Back in the day, North Dakota, South Dakota.
But you guys told me they have an advantage with the cold weather, and aren't they tough over there in North Dakota?
I think North Dakota's a little bit different.
Oh, it's different for them, but not Buffalo.
Not Buffalo.
Who gets like 9 feet of snow. Oh,
no.
okay.
No.
Denver definitely didn't face a snowstorm and couldn't play football in it
Denver's
this year.
mild, okay?
Right, yeah.
They call that the San Diego of the Midwest.
What did they do, Swag? You know what they did?
They put a dome on it.
They put a dome on it because they want their football team to operate fully functional.
Can I ask a follow-up question here? So if you're a North Dakota State fan, I don't know about you, I'd be pretty excited about this. Like, yeah, it's cool, dude. Jump up, see how we hang.
General excitement for the fan base.
Like, this is exciting, right? I'm reinvigorated.
Sure.
And I don't mean this as a shot, so please don't list your team here. You're a fan of an FBS team, and you would advocate them going to a fan of an FBS team and advocate them doing the opposite. Like, dude, just give up. Go to the FCS level. Don't do it to your team. It's too early to do it to your team. It's been 2 years.
It's almost baseball
You
season.
don't have a conference, okay? Now you have a conference.
How much money would we do?
College baseball starts on Friday.
Yeah, dude. They go to Sunrise.
Jesus.
Or Surprise?
Surprise.
Sunrise. We're the Sunrise.
Sunrise guys.
Ducks have 2 home series to start.
Yeah, definitely not Oregon
You want to
State.
go to PK in February.
I mean, the weather's going to be beautiful. That's what I hear.
I don't want Oregon State to go to the FCS and play Montana.
I mean, you don't want them to go to the FCS.
No.
You don't want them to.
No way, dude. I want them to be in the Mountain West and not spend any money.
You're in the Pac-12, bitch. You're going to get $8 million a year.
And we're the cheapest program in the Pac-12.
Once you get Barnes out of there and get a president who cares.
Oh, is that going to happen soon?
It'll happen at some point.
Oh, okay.
Put a dome on it.
Retractable roof at Reeser would hit. Oh, my God.
It actually would be pretty cool.
It'd be
wouldn't it?
so cool.
It'd be pretty badass. Well, let's not play that game then because I don't want to make anybody feel sad. But I think this is cool. North Dakota State's joining the Mountain West. They needed another football team. They got another football team.
Who was the last program to drop to the FCS?
Riggins, you got anything there?
Idaho?
Idaho.
Idaho used to be in the Pac-12. 8-4, whatever we called it back then.
And then they were in the, I think they were in the WAC before the WAC blew up.
Idaho has kind of dicey
Idaho's now
weather.
in the
Don't they
Big
play in a
Sky.
dome?
The Kibbe Dome, yeah.
Weird. Tell me weather's an advantage.
They don't have enough people that work in the area to clean the snow off of the stadium.
Is that what it is?
They don't have enough employees to do this.
Snowblowers
They don't
in
have the
Idaho.
snowblower guys.
Yeah.
There's not enough people there.
Ah.
So you got to dome it. You got to dome it up.
Okay.
Let's get to, does this guy have the ability to see into the future? And what is your long shot? We'll get to that coming up next. Also, who do you protect top of the hour? Back after this on The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Lay and Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood.
Solomon out the top right, throws out wide to Copeland on the Conwell.
He stole
the pass is stolen again by Brown. He's by himself, and this time he makes sure he dunks it through.
There's Learfield Sports, Louisville on the call there. Louisville laying wood to NC State, 118-77. The story out of this one was Michael Brown Jr., freshman, career high 45 points. He broke the old mark of one Cooper Flagg, who had 42.
Yeah, we've reached a point now where I got to start following college hoops. 118 in the college game's pretty wild. That's a remarkable number to get to. The St. John Xavier game was good. Patino off, right, at the Garden.
We had 2 in like the last 3 games.
We did.
And crazy little story going on in Kansas.
Yeah, and number one team went down, and the player didn't play. And was he sick? Was he not sick? Why wasn't he playing? Nice little night of college hoops last night.
Lay and Wood Report brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. Visit them at mrplywoodinc.com or their location on Southeast Stark Street.
AM.
Well, if this year's Super Bowl taught us anything, I hope it is the ability to see a future prediction and say, yeah, maybe.
I remember this one.
He's holding it too long. Throw it, man.
Boy, how far both of them have come, huh? Sam Darnold and Paul Allen over in Minnesota.
What's he doing? Rough weekend for Vikings fans.
Paul Allen getting suspended for comments on air, and Sam Darnold hoisting a Lombardi.
That he did. Here's what I'm going to do for you. I will be your, what do they call the guys that help the people climb up Mount Everest? What are they called?
Sherpas.
I'll be your Sherpa, okay? Let me Sherpa you to the top. The reason I'm bringing this up is it has already begun. The random large wagers on specific Super Bowl matchups for next year. So the first one came in. Ben Fox, we've had him on the show. He's a great follow for gambling content. One of the first early big wagers. Now, it's not that big, but the payout's incredible. A bettor at DraftKings wagered $2,500.
Damn, dude. Imagine just having that money you just throw away like no.
That's not like a money line or a two-team parlay.
That's a futures pick.
Wait till you hear the teams. $2,500 on the Super Bowl. Specific matchup.
So they just have to get to the Super Bowl and he wins.
He has a specific winner of the game.
Oh. Oof.
Of the exacta of the Cincinnati Bengals defeating the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
501 odds. So clearly we haven't learned our lesson.
So it's $1 million payoff?
It's a $2,500 bet that would pay $1.25 million if it were to happen.
Threw it out his window, huh?
Let me Sherpa you.
Uh-huh.
Fire away.
Yeah.
I got my DraftKings app open.
Oh.
What is your outlandish?
Are you just using us to make a bet right
I'm
now?
gonna,
Is that what the segment
I'm
is?
going to Sherpa you.
Bucks
You got
sitting around now?
You could do $2.50. I'll tell you what the payout is for a $2.50 bet.
Right.
Here's the more interesting way to do this.
Okay.
Is there a two-team situation we all three could agree on that you bet that we split?
Oh, that we split the pot?
Yeah.
So here are your odds to win the NFC next year. Just a quick look. 2027, Seahawks are the favorite, tied with the Rams, both plus 500. Then you go to the Eagles plus 650, the Packers plus 750, the Lions plus 750, Niners plus 900, Bears plus 1,300.
I was going to say I haven't heard the Bears yet.
Bucks plus 1,700, Cowboys plus 1,700, Commies plus 3,000.
What are the Vikings?
Plus 3,000, Giants plus 3,500, and then you go Panthers, Falcons, and Saints are all plus 4,000. The Arizona Cardinals are plus 12,000.
Why would you bet the Cardinals?
You wouldn't.
No.
On the AFC, your favorite is, shockingly, the Bills, plus 550. Then the Pats, plus 650.
Wow. The Chiefs falling down a little bit.
Ravens, plus 650.
Oh, we're getting Chief value.
LA Chargers, plus 750. Wow. Tied with the Kansas City Chiefs, plus 750. And then it's Broncos, 900. Texans, 1,000. Jags, plus 1,100. Bengals, plus 1,200. Steelers, plus 2,200. And then you round out Colts, Titans, Browns, Raiders,
Jets,
and
name the
Dolphins.
finalists odds up. So if we do what we did with our way too early,
Our Super Bowl picks?
Super Bowl picks.
Yeah.
So Chargers, Rams was mine. That's plus 5,000.
Plus 5,000.
That's tasty.
What did you go?
I went Chargers and Lions.
Chargers?
Searching.
Patriots, Lions is 6,000. Chargers, Eagles, 6,000. Where's Chargers?
Chargers, Lions has to be an option.
Has to be an option.
No, I'm looking for it. It's just trying to wiggle
I
my
had
way
Bears,
through.
Ravens.
So
Chargers, Lions plus 7,000.
Yeah.
What's Bears, Ravens?
$5 bet wins $361.
Feels like I need more. To lose 5, I need more.
Right. Ravens.
Daddy needs
Better
more
odds
money.
than that. You would throw the Giants in there maybe. Find your outlier.
Well, I got one for you.
Okay, what do you got?
In this game.
Okay, I'll put the parlay in.
What would Vikings Jags pay out?
Ooh, Jags. Oh, no, sorry. That's Super Bowl. Hold on. I clicked the wrong one.
With a Jags win.
So conference.
Ravens, Bears is plus 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tasty.
Now on DraftKings, it won't let you parlay conference winner and Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
So I'll just do AFC winner and NFC winner. You said Jags and Vikings.
Jags, Vikings.
Plus 37,000.
Yeah.
A $5 bet wins $1,800.
Dude, if the Vikings get a quarterback in any capacity.
Is that our long shot bet? I'm okay with that long shot bet.
And the Jags are like that, they got knocked out in wild card weekend. Everybody's going to go Broncos, Chargers, Houston, Baltimore. New England again.
None of
Buffalo.
those teams fall in the category of what Seattle and New England were this year. They were not playoff teams. New England was one of the 5 or 6
Minnesota
worst teams
wasn't
in the league.
a playoff team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will like the Chargers or when you look at our
yeah.
Super Bowl, the Ravens or the Bills. That was not this year's Super Bowl. Not that you're going to get that every year, because the last year it was Chiefs and Eagles who have been there essentially every year. It feels like for a decade. But if you get another one of these, man, capitalize. This guy, $2,500 bet on the Bengals over the Cowboys, 500 to 1 odds.
So the reason, if the Vikings do finally figure out their quarterback position, which I would imagine that's their only priority at this point, the underrated talk about storyline from the coaching cycle was that it's pretty clear that nobody wants to hire Flores, and he just signed an extension to be the DC.
Which is great if you're Minnesota.
If you're Kevin O'Connell, that was the best possible thing to happen for you, and so your defense is going to be on lock.
You have your Robert Saleh, who's not getting another head coaching opportunity.
Basically, yes. And then the Jags. I mean, the Jags were one of the stories of the season. They finished the season with 8 straight wins.
Yeah.
And they just, unfortunately, they went against Josh Allen, but, is that the wild card teachable moment game? How close were they to win that game, right? They had the ball with a minute left. So
chance to tie it or win.
I would look more that realm. You certainly could go the Denvers, the Chargers.
Yeah. Well, I noticed if you scroll
Seahawks
down further at DraftKings, they actually have the odds of somebody to beat somebody.
Oh, so you can go
Super
find
Bowl.
the specific game.
Yeah,
Got it.
So
that's absolutely.
So if I had Bears over Ravens, for example, what would that look like?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
dig down.
I gotta search. There's 8,000 combinations.
Yeah, because you got
here.
so many of them.
So if you guys write them down, I'll search for them in a break.
Okay.
We did this with the picks when Swag said, I can't remember the exact way he phrased it, but basically not a lot of new playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, okay, well, the NFL always gives us new. And for a while he was right, and then he wasn't, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing to do as a football fan, is to go away from the obvious playoff teams. Is Denver going to be a really hot, trendy pick next year for people? Or will people go,
I think they're going to be
the
a trendy
one-score
pick.
luck's going to go the other way, it'll
Right.
more balance out, and they won't be the 1 seed.
I think a lot of people have them as a trendy pick next year. Not that it's right or wrong, but I
Right.
think they will be an absolute candidate of, now they're going to take the next step, similar to the commies coming into this year.
Yeah, so that's kind of my point is, are you going to find the non-playoff teams who will be in the playoffs next year? And, most of the time, very rarely do you get the Patriot story. It's almost more like what the Seahawks were.
You're kind of knocking on the door
They were
of a
tied.
playoffs.
They were 1 game out, and they just missed out on the playoffs barely, but they had, 10 wins last year. Very well could have been a playoff team and played like a playoff team.
Yeah.
But I think it's more in that realm than it is you're taking on the 4-win team who's going to turn around and win 12, 13, 14 games.
Well, 350 days from now, remember this segment if we get a Bengals versus Cowboys Super Bowl. And if we do, we got to find this guy. Find out what he's got going on.
There was somebody else we got to find randomly from the Super Bowl file. Did you see the couple that got married, got engaged at Cannon Beach?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Are they from here or randomly on vacation here?
I got to be honest. I didn't read the story, but the headline was photos of them in front of the Rock, and it was like they got engaged in Cannon Beach.
Dude, we were in the Super Bowl.
We were in the Super
Look
Bowl.
at that. Way to go, Oregon.
Oregonians, man.
Things are looking up.
Yeah.
Well, we might lose our basketball team, but I don't want to talk about that.
I'm so exhausted talking about that topic.
Me too. There's another angle of it that I would like to talk about because this could be on the horizon.
More ransom stories.
Give me your list. Who is your list, and do we have the same list? We'll get to that. Start the final hour next. 105.1 FM The Fan.
McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers get a career night from Toumani Camara, 30 points, 8 threes, and they blow out the 76ers 135-118 thanks to a 49-point third quarter. Now, Philly was playing without Joel Embiid, but Portland now on a 3-game winning streak hits the road to take on the Timberwolves tomorrow. With the potential number 1 draft pick in the NBA sitting out for Kansas, Darren Patterson, the Jayhawks handed number 1 Arizona their first loss of the season at Allen Fieldhouse, 82-76. First time Kansas has beaten a number 1 ranked team in the history of that building. Meanwhile, the Oregon Ducks men's basketball team unable to slow down the Hoosiers in the second half at Assembly Hall. They suffer their 10th consecutive loss, 92-74 the final. Now the longest losing streak Dana Altman has presided over in his 37 years as a head coach. Ducks back home Saturday to host Penn State. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of
All right, let's do this. Final hour. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader on 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody.
I like your show. I've been watching you for years. I like you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. It is a Tuesday. That means...
Mail sack. Mail sack.
Coming up in about 11 minutes from now. Get your questions in. The Fan text line, which is 503-864-6326. We'll answer them sports, non-sports, whatever you got, fire them away, and we'll get to as many of them as we can in about 10 minutes. So there's this story going on. Our guy Orm at the Oregonian wrote a piece yesterday that caused quite the kerfuffle, and we don't need to talk about it. I don't want to get into it. Like, that's one, like, let's just see how things play out.
He also got aggregated, and it pissed him off, but I'm like, dude, you're going to get aggregated.
That's going to happen when you write a piece like that. Yeah. They introduced the bill yesterday in front of the state legislature on the renovations and the funding of the Moda Center. There's a lot of hoops that they got to jump through. Let's just see how that entire thing plays out. I don't want to do that segment for weeks on end. I was texting with somebody who works closely with the legislature yesterday, and there's a month left in this session.
Doing, reporting.
I was just genuinely curious.
Okay.
So there's a month left in this session. So let's just see how it goes over the next month. We'll handle it that way. One thing that we do know, or not do, but is very likely to happen this offseason, according to sources, the sources around the NBA are saying at this offseason Board of Governors meeting, we are very likely to get the expansion vote in the NBA. And we all know the 2 cities that they're going to choose. And they're likely going to vote yes because that's a nice pretty penny coming to the current owners of the NBA. So it's likely to happen this offseason that we expand by 2 teams in the NBA. In Seattle and Vegas, we'll get teams. What happens when you expand? We haven't had
rosters.
Haven't had it in a long time. Mm-hmm. You got to have an expansion draft.
The Hornets were the last one when they came back.
Yes.
I've got all the rules up here.
Okay. And then before that, it was what? The Grizzlies, right? And the Raptors?
Grizzlies, Raptors.
Raptors, yeah. Which would have been early
96,
90s?
95?
Wasn't that late, was it? Yeah, 95, 96. So that we're going to have an expansion draft. Now, I don't know what it would be this time around and how different it would look. But last time there was an expansion draft, the way that the rules work, now you can go through the nitty-gritty of the nuts and bolts of it.
So each team got to protect a maximum of 8 players on the roster who were either under contract or restricted free agents. If somebody is going to be an unrestricted free agent.
When the draft,
No.
Nothing you can do.
Definitely Jeremy Grant not getting protected by the Blazers.
Well, by the time, because when you announce the expansion, when do we expect the 2 teams to join the league? It won't happen next year, will it?
Or Seattle's ready.
If it's those 2 places, they both have
their stadium ready.
So next year they could. So we could have an expansion draft this summer.
It could be quick. Maybe they want to give them a
one
year
season build up
so they can get all the infrastructure in place in the organization. But it won't be like if Portland were, by the grace of God, to get an MLB team where they need 4 years to build
the stadium. Valid point. Now, to the Jeremy Grant point, if it is in 2 years, I think his contract's up, so he would technically be an unrestricted free agent, and you wouldn't protect him either way.
So before, each team got to protect 8 players. The Bobcats would select a minimum of 14 players who were under contract for the following season.
All-time
Charlotte Bobcats.
Stupid decision to Bobcats.
Charlotte Bobcats.
They may select no more than 1 player from each team. So once you had now, if there's 2 teams, each team might be able to take 1 from your.
So you might lose 2 guys from your team.
So you
potentially,
might lose 2,
depending on how deep your roster is. So I saw this yesterday. People were starting to talk about this potentially happening in the offseason in the NBA, and I saw the 8-player thing, and then I did the fun exercise of who are the 8. So let's not play a contract into the future of who's going to be a free agent and all that, because that'll change the calculus of it.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's this summer. All of a sudden, it's the middle of July, and there's an expansion draft coming, and you're Joe Cronin, and you got to decide on 8 players that you're going to protect. Is it an easy 8 for you? Do you get through 5, and then you're like, which route do I go?
They had the expansion draft just before the regular player entry draft.
So no new rookies would be.
Exactly.
Yes, the draft happens after that. And the expansion teams usually get, 5? They're in the lottery mix, but they can't get the number 1 pick, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I think they would place them right after the ones that are determined by lottery. So the top 4 now are determined by lottery.
Okay.
So they would be at 5 and 6.
Got it. So 8 players on the Blazers roster. You can protect. Who are the 8 that you're choosing?
Denny.
Denny has to be 1. Tamani has to be 1.
Scoot.
Okay.
Shea.
4.
Donovan.
There's 5.
Dame.
6.
Drew.
7. You got 1 spot left.
Did you say Klingon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we already giving up on
I don't care.
Chinese Jokic?
Yeah. Go be Jokic in Seattle or Vegas. Don't care. Who would the next one be?
It becomes interesting, right? When you think about the first 5 are pretty obvious for everybody. First 5 or 6 are pretty obvious for everybody.
I guess if
you haven't protected Jeremy yet.
No, because if it happens under his contract, I want it gone.
Yeah.
Because
take that off the books.
I'm tired of acting like we're going to get anything for it.
Are you really protecting Drew?
I like Drew Holiday.
I mean, who else would you choose other than Drew?
But
that's an interesting question. Do you go youth guys?
Do you think an expansion team is going to take Drew Holiday with his contract?
Or are they more likely
they got to pay people, right?
No, I understand.
How many players are on the league are they going to get?
The other piece to this thing was Charlotte's salary cap was only 66% of the salary cap in the first year and 75% in the second year.
Because a lot of guys that are getting picked up in this are going to be, I mean, the best players in the NBA are not going to be available, and they usually have bloated, large $50, $60 million contracts.
Well, one, we don't know if that's how it's going to work for Seattle Vegas.
Right. We do not.
That's not the rule.
We do not.
But that was something that was in the previous one.
You know, to be honest with you, man, I don't know if I can give you another one that I'm
you only want to protect 7 and say go ahead.
Well, I mean, you act like protecting 8 is just...
Come on, Caleb Love's not on your protected list?
Caleb Love's not even playing.
Sidney Sissoko?
Don't
get me had last night.
He was the only player to not score for us last night.
Rob Williams draining threes in the corner last night?
Rob Williams is gone. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. You want me to put on Vít Krejci?
Vít Krejci. You're not protecting the dynamite three-point shooter?
Don't care.
You don't want a heat check on your roster?
You want me to add Ryan Rupert? Chris Murray and his broken back spinal. What do you want me to do here? Javante Cook? I'm sorry. You need me to submit 8. I'm only submitting 7.
You're only 7. That's an incomplete answer, but
I'll
allow
press
it.
me, I'll say fine. Take somebody else away.
Young Hansen. I mean, at that point, you might as well just protect Young, right? If you can't decide on the last one.
I don't care.
I know that you don't care, but if you're choosing one to protect, it has to be your first-round pick.
No, I'd rather protect Chris Murray's back.
Swag, do you have the same 8, or are you protecting vets?
I might roll the dice on Drew. Just because I don't
see if they pick him up. Like, go ahead if you want to.
I don't think an expansion team would pick up that contract necessarily. They wouldn't want.
He's making almost $40 million
a
year.
So the tough thing with this would be like you're thinking about around the league how many Drew Holiday-like players will be available in the expansion draft.
How many teams want to get out of a contract like that?
And then if they're all young guys that you're putting up or veterans that literally can't play anymore, you got to pay somebody.
Yeah. If you're an expansion team, though, like if you flip the roles and you're saying you're drafting, like you would go. I would just take pieces that are. Like, I would be much quicker to take a young Hansen in an expansion draft than I would Drew Holiday. I'm years away from winning anything that matters. By the time I'm viable as an organization, Drew Holiday's going to be working at ESPN.
Well, and the other thing is that
it'd be funny if the Lakers didn't protect LeBron.
Yeah, go ahead. Dude, that would be the number one pick.
Well, is he under
to bring
he's
LeBron
not under
in?
contract next year.
No, he would technically not fall into that category.
World,
well, the other thing, Caleb Love is not on this because he's technically on a two-way.
Yeah, he's not. That will change by the time we get to the offseason because he got a choice to make.
So
there.
if he was on there, I might.
I think there's only 7.
There's only 7?
I mean, some people are probably going to disagree with me on the young thing.
People will definitely disagree with you on that.
But I just, okay, you can, fine, put him on the list.
Yeah, there's your 8.
Is that your 8?
That was my exact 8, yeah. Jeremy, I'm letting go because I just whatever. And again, when it likely happens, he will be a unrestricted or a restricted free agent or whatever the terminology is, so you won't be able to protect him anyways. The first handful you get through are so easy. Like Denny's on everybody's list, Kamara's on everybody's list.
The first 6 are easy.
Scoot, Shaden, easy, Klingon, easy. So you're up to 5 or 6.
You didn't bring Dame back to get rid of him.
No, and Dame's the face of the
Dame
franchise, and you're going to build a statue. And so there's, I mean, then it becomes, all right, do you go vets? Do I go Drew? Do I go Jeremy? Or do I go projection of young Hansen was just a first-round pick, or I like what this other young player has done? Do I want to bring a Blake Wesley back? Which
Are you
feel weird?
offended if a team puts you off the list?
Blake Wesley's a free agent.
Oh, he's on a 1-year deal?
Yeah.
All right, we're playing a game. None of this is real.
I also
haven't even had the announcement. You're like, Jack Nickley's a free agent.
You
I'm
dumbass.
like, dude, of course.
I also love
he just wants to know the players that you pick.
I also love that we've gotten to the point now where that's where we're at. We're protecting in an expansion draft. We're protecting Blake Wesley. We can't let Blake Wesley go.
Dude, Blake Wesley's fun.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that.
Well, but who was it for the Pistons? I forget who it was. One of their key members that helped him win a title. I'm watching the Bad Boy doc.
Oh, and they lost in an expansion draft?
Yeah, one of the starters.
Was it John Sally?
No, it wasn't Sally. It was
Dumars?
No, who played next to Lambeer? I'm blanking.
Oh,
the other big.
The big.
Mahorn.
They put Mahorn in the expansion draft.
Did somebody take him?
And he was pissed. Yeah, he ended up leaving.
What the hell, dude? Winning titles here.
So, like, the expansion draft is just interesting in general to watch.
Who's
Because
protected and who's not.
Right.
And then you got to wait. Like, if you're one of those guys that's not protected, you sit around on draft night. Is my name going to get called?
I know.
Do I got to move to Seattle now? Do I got to move to Vegas?
By the way,
what's happening here?
In the hypothetical world that we finally lose the Blazers, and after 15 years with the Oregonian columnist, different name, same article being written is right, what city is taking our team? Raleigh's not getting the Blazers. That's not happening.
Kansas City.
Kansas City does have the stadium.
They have an arena.
Yep.
They have been home to an NBA team previously.
Yep.
So
I'm not
they
getting
love
you when
basketball in Kansas.
Well, they would love another pro sport. They got the Chiefs. Well, they
got the Chiefs.
They're going to lose the Chiefs. They're about to lose the Chiefs.
Well, it's still there technically.
I know. Technically,
it's like moving to Santa Clara. One of those.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you when I say this. When I mentioned it yesterday, if that ever did happen, I would not watch the NBA ever again. I'm already a very fringe NBA fan to begin with.
It's already hard enough to get you to care about
the only reason I care is because we have a team, and at some point we might be in the mix playing these other teams, and so I follow it in the draft and free agency.
Happens,
I'm literally
joining
ejecting
an MLS fantasy league. That's what's going to happen.
Dude, we lost Rodriguez yesterday. The prospect never developed. Yeah, they waived him.
Come on, man.
Jonah.
Should have protected him.
We loved you. We thought you were the chosen one.
Who do we protect? Who's right? Who's wrong? Sprague dumping on the Yonger.
I didn't dump on the Yonger. I just didn't put him on my protection list.
Dumping all over the Yonger. Not protecting him.
To do a show if we did lose them.
Would be really weird.
Like we would get because
You think we do a lot of football now?
Dude, I'm not exaggerating. When I interned in Seattle, it was 3 or 4 years after they lost the Sonics. And anytime the host did an NBA adjacent segment, man,
people just
fire on the text lines and the fax.
Dude, they're also different because
they
also
call in and be like,
"How dare you?
We are not.
We don't care
about this." I
thought the Blazers were the Northwest team, though. I thought that's our region. Where I root. Where do you root? Huh?
PN Dubs.
PN Dubs, baby.
PN Dubs.
The PN Dubs.
Super Bowl champs, PN Dubs.
All for one for all. That's what they say about us in the PN Dub. You guys ready to mail sack?
Yeah, dude. I've been ready for the mail sack all day.
Get your questions in. 503-864-6326. That's fan text time. We'll answer them next on the Fan.
Mail sack.
All right, let's see what we got here today, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Mail Sack Tuesday. Welcome. Enjoy this stretch of radio. Mail sack question: as Valentine's Day approaches, how long in advance do you plan the gift for your significant other? Days, weeks, months, or years?
We don't do gifts. We barely care about that day.
Yeah.
We are not a big Valentine's.
You?
We're gonna no, we're not doing gifts. I put the kibosh on that a couple years ago. Like, this is really stupid. It's a made-up holiday. Why are we wasting money on things that we don't need? We are gonna go out to dinner though. But the only reason we're going out to dinner is my niece has been really eager to babysit. Not for a long stretch, but like my kiddo loves. Says her name constantly.
Little trial run here.
Yeah, so it was like she asked last week. She was like, "Do you guys have anything planned? Can I come over and babysit for an hour or two?" And I was like, "Yeah, why don't we go out for dinner?"
Now, is
after
she
his nap?"
expecting to be paid?
I'm gonna pay her. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna pay her. See how the job is. We'll grade it out when we're all done.
All right.
Make sure the house is still standing.
He's still alive?
We have not deciphered an amount yet, so we're going to go out to dinner, like a very early dinner on Saturday, but the main reason we're doing it is not Valentine's Day. It's primarily because my niece wanted to babysit.
Yeah, I got Vietnamese New Year's party on Valentine's Day, so if we do end up doing anything, it's going to be after that family get-together.
Oh, there you go.
We don't normally do anything, though, and I think the only gift stuff we ever did in college was we would usually walk to a Safeway in Corvallis and get slices of chocolate cake.
That's perfect.
It was perfect. Watch Law and Order for 4 hours.
Dude,
like, what happened to our lives?
Nothing to do.
Dun-dun.
Nowhere to be.
I got a Pilots game to call, and she's going to 2 different plays to see,
won't
stuff
even see
going
each other.
on, so
everybody's out of the
Like
house.
you should do, Swag, is you should call that Pilots game. And then when you get home before her, you just undress and put some petals on your butt cheeks.
There you go.
And you just go,
Hey.
I could see you doing it. Yeah, you're thinking about it now, aren't you? Yeah, you are.
That's your booty.
It's your booty.
Mail sack question: what is the worst or perhaps most memorable thing to happen to one of you on your birthdays? When I was 14, I broke our family TV trying to set up the Wii Fit. My parents were pissed.
On his birthday?
If you're asking the most memorable thing to happen on my birthday, I cannot answer that question on the air.
So this is the worst thing to happen on your birthday?
Plead the fifth.
This is easy.
Plead the fifth. Go ahead, please.
16th birthday.
What happened?
Get my driver's license.
Ooh.
You got it on your birthday?
Hours afterwards.
Oh, no.
Got into a fender bender.
Oh, no. How much damage were we talking? What was the insurance payment? Do you remember?
Baby bump or?
It was, fortunately, the guy was pretty cool. They didn't report it to insurance.
Oof.
But
whose fault was it? Was it your fault?
It was clear as mine.
Yeah.
Were you not paying attention? There's no phones. What's going on?
This was before we had cup holders. I got some lunch on my way home and had a big thing, and
brutal.
it spilled, and I kind of reached over to try,
Took your eyes
and I was
off the
going around the
road.
corner and clipped this guy's Oldsmobile Buick bumper.
Oh, no.
So all the money I made working at Taco Hell that summer went to go pay that guy.
That's a lot of bean burritos down the drain.
That's a lot of taco Sundays, 49-cent taco Sunday. Oh, I thought my life was over.
2 ones for me. I'll give you. When I was 6, my mom threw a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, and famously one of my friends got caught wiping frosting off my cake, so my grandma picked him up, put him on the table, and in front of everybody at Chuck E. Cheese,
I love
smacked
this
his ass.
Smanking.
That is one of my favorite stories of all time.
It's
Are
pretty
we allowed to
memorable.
do that in society anymore?
No.
That's frowned upon now?
No.
So if somebody
We'll have
does that to
DHS
Teddy's
and
cake,
cops there in
his
30
5th
seconds.
birthday, some kid shoves his hand in Teddy Ballgame's cake, I can't grab him and spank him?
I don't think you can grab him, put him on the table in front of everybody,
Now
and
maybe
start
Sue
spanking
can get
him.
away with it.
She's allowed to do it. Grandma can do it, but not me.
I think the other one was, I think when I turned 17, we lived in Vancouver for a minute, and so I either took the bus or my mom had to pick me up pretty late. And so I was at the school, and my mom completely and obviously forgot to pick me up. I was at the high school on my birthday till about 7:30. Everybody was gone. And when she picked me up, I was obviously in a bad mood, like, cool, glad you forgot about me.
Thank you.
She didn't acknowledge my birthday. We then got home, and I go, so what's for dinner? She goes, I don't know, make yourself something. I go, I don't get a birthday dinner? And she's like, that's right. Obviously you do. And she goes, what do you want? And I was like, if you make biscuits and gravy, my day's good.
Yeah.
And she didn't have sausage. She didn't want to buy sausage, so she made some kind of hot dog gravy. And I don't know what was in the gravy part, but there were just chunks of hot dogs and
not the same. Not getting the job done.
We'll just say that was not eaten, and that was probably the last really miserable birthday.
My last bad birthday was probably getting on my 21st birthday. I remember getting lost in Eugene. How is that possible? I don't know.
What was your 21st?
I think I was looking for a bag of weed, and I got lost somewhere in a neighborhood. And I
didn't you get an MIP?
I didn't have my. I don't remember how I got home.
Got an MIP.
That one was pretty
for illegal drugs.
That one was pretty bad. Mail sack question: what is the best vacation that you've ever taken?
Ooh.
Mine has
this
to
is
be
going to connect to another mail sack question later on. It is so hard to pick one.
Mine has to be Vietnam, but me, my wife, and our 2 daughters just went to Hawaii in 2021, and that was exceptional because we don't do a lot of those vacations with just us. But my answer has to be Vietnam.
Okay.
I'm assuming if you ask me after
it
this
will
summer,
be Italy.
It will be this summer.
Yeah.
But no, Hawaii's never dull. But did do New England one time as the seasons changed, and that was absolutely delightful.
Okay.
I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something and
good
you don't
foliage.
Yeah, and you just want to one, you can drive through 4 different states in, a week without being in the car all the time, so everything's sort of close together. But yeah, it was just there's little bed and breakfasts and places along the way, and everybody was very friendly, and yeah, it was if you're just looking for somewhere to meander and you want to check out and you don't you're not looking for a big adventure, but just stuff to do, good food, nice, great scenery. It was delightful.
I think I would probably go with my graduation trip, which was to Hawaii. We went after high school as an 18-year-old, and we had some family from Philly and the East Coast that flew out and came with us. My brother was in college at the time, and he came. That's one I will always remember because you're 18. It's this new journey. You just finished something. You're moving away in a couple of months. It was right after school ended. It was the first time my parents ever let me my aunt still gives me a hard time of the bar tab that I racked up on that trip as an 18-year-old. That was
she still lets you hear about it?
Dude, 20 years later, every time I see her, she says, you still owe me money from Hawaii and all the beers that you drank. So that was like a coming of age kind of vacation that I will always remember. Let's get one more in here and then we'll go. Take a quick pause and then get to the rest of them. Mail sack, as you guys inch closer to 40, what has been your midlife crisis? What was Swag's? Mine has been taking up cycling. I don't think I got one yet. I think I'll probably be hit with one at some point. Maybe I get hair plugs and that's where I go because I'm terrified of going bald.
You don't think it's going to be a hobby?
No, I don't think so. I already have my hobbies aren't going to change. My hobbies, if I ever give time to have hobbies again, will be golf.
He already has old man hobbies.
Yeah, I already do that. Grilling, golf, smoking a cigar. That's all I need.
I'm trying to think of a midlife crisis thing I'd pick up.
You go buy a leather jacket. You got to get a sports
car. Terrible in leather jackets. Jean jackets.
You flirted
and leather
with
jackets.
A motorcycle a couple of years ago. You wanted to be a motorcycle guy.
I still kind of do. Not in a big Harley, handlebars up by my head guy, but
what, a little crotch rocket.
If you gave me a smaller version of one of those, yeah. To be honest with you, my part of the reason Vietnam is one of my favorites is because there was a day we were in one of those tiny coastal towns of Vietnam, and it was 80 degrees. The sun was out. And so me and my wife and brother and sisters-in-laws, we just rented Vespas, and we just mopeded around all up and down the coastline.
Why don't you get a moped? That'd be fun. You can't drive it into work every day, but you could peruse it around the neighborhood.
I could go to Fred Meyer's on one. There's a judgment that exists with them.
Let them judge.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
You're not wrong.
What, do you get a Mazda Miata and I'm going to laugh at you?
But also, if I got a Ducati, I'd literally only be driving up Sunnyside. So, what would I be getting a Ducati for?
You don't need that much horsepower, man.
Do I? I don't know.
I don't think you do.
I don't know. I think that would have to be mine. Otherwise, I can't imagine developing another one.
Yeah, I got nothing right now. Maybe I'll get there. Swag, did you have a midlife crisis?
I don't feel like I did. Maybe other people.
How old were you when you frost-tipped your hair?
I was late 30s.
For some people, that can be technically, that's statistically the midlife.
Yeah.
Yeah, mathematically speaking.
But I don't ever remember, just thinking everything was going to be different and change and all
But
that.
I don't think you're cognizant of midlife crisis.
No, other people might beg to differ and go,
you did this, and this.
You were wearing puka shell necklaces and you're almost 40.
You got into a big health kick a couple years ago. Your rowing machine, your keto diet.
I did.
But is that a crisis? That sounds like a good lifestyle
That's more
choice.
an epiphany or a recognition of I'm not 28 anymore. So
I need to lose some weight.
Dude, he was fat. No offense. And he knows it, dude.
I was like 215.
He was thunder thighs, man. You could hear him walking from, like, way across the building.
A lot of baby powder, a lot of chafing going on.
Definitely.
Ham hocks rubbing together. I know what that's like, buddy.
It's crazy to look at old photos of you and like, geez, you ate another person back then.
Yeah, 2 of you, dude.
And I know the weight isn't that different, but like, it's crazy how much fatter you looked.
Looks drastically different. There's no doubt
You
about
look
that.
like a different human being. So that's a good choice. That's a life decision.
Yeah, I don't view that necessarily as a midlife crisis.
No.
That's more of changing something dramatically in or doing something.
It's like I need to do something different.
Now, have you seen somebody at a midlife crisis? Because I have.
Oh,
but
I don't know if I have.
I mean, I haven't.
But you can't tell them.
I
I've heard
didn't go out
stories.
and get the convertible Miata or whatever else,
Yeah.
Leather jacket, cheating.
There was a guy that we knew
Exactly.
that used to work at a company. I'm not going to say any names, but there was a guy, and he just, like, a very well-paid, high-up job, and he just openly quit. He's like probably, I don't know, we just guesstimate mid-50s, just quit, went and bought a Porsche, just disappeared.
Like he was your friend?
No, not my. I'll tell you off the air. I'm not going to name names on the air.
Bought a Porsche and disappeared?
Just like was like, you know what? I'm done. That's it. Enough rat race for me. Bought a Porsche and then just was like, I quit my job. See you later.
I'm going to know this person?
Yeah, you'll remember
I'm
the person.
blanking right now.
You'll remember the person.
Wow. I mean, yeah, you see that happen from time to time.
Like, you know what? Where am I going? I'm burnt out. I don't want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
How many years do I got left?
Yep.
What the hell? What am I doing here?
I know.
Let's go buy a Porsche. More mail sack around the corner, but first, here's us with a update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island, Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on the Fan, the U.S. picking up some medals today over in Milano Cortina. The women's team combined alpine skiing getting a bronze. We picked up a silver in the men's sprint classic cross-country skiing, and we will add another one as the U.S. mixed doubles curling team right now in the gold medal game against Sweden, down 2-1 in the third end with the hammer.
I completely dropped the ball yesterday. I was reading an animal story for the Fupdate. Happy Black History Month, everybody. More inventions. Super Soaker, Lonnie Johnson, 1990. Without Lonnie Johnson, Dirt and I don't play with Super Soakers. And for all those golf bros out there, tee it high, let it fly. Shout out Dr. George Grant, 1899, invented the first wooden golf tee.
Really?
Yep.
2 pretty incredible inventions. Where would my life be without Super Soakers and tees?
Yep.
Got to have tees. Got to have Super Soakers. This is going to be absolute chaos. Not many things I'm more excited for in the next month of sports than Olympic hockey. Men's hockey to begin. USA, Canada, and women's today. I found out yesterday in the entirety of the Olympics, if the game goes to overtime, they're going 3-on-3 overtime.
Yes.
Which is utter chaos
Yes.
and a very controversial decision.
I'm in.
But also very exciting, and the men begin on Thursday morning.
More Winter Olympic and Black History Month stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the
All right, read a couple thoughts here at the fan text line. 503-864-6326. One came in. Frosting your tips in your late 30s is definitely a midlife crisis.
Don't forget the puka shells.
Puka shells to go with it.
But he also might have come back.
Owned puka shells.
Dude, we have
I think there's puka shells in there.
I feel like there's
no
a
puka shells in there.
necklace.
Did you wear a necklace of any kind?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I've never been a necklace guy. Never been a gold chain guy. No.
Why don't you get on my gold chain level? Some would say my gold chain might be a midlife crisis, but it was just handed to me as a gift from Vietnam.
Aiden says, I laugh so hard at listening to Sprague's childhood trauma stories. Yeah, they come out of left field sometimes.
They're not even that traumatic.
Head on a swivel. Honda Shadow. Somebody says great beginner bike, Sprague.
There we go.
So, low HP.
I see some
How's
of these.
your HP?
My HP's pretty low right now.
Are you a low or a high HP guy?
I want to up my HP.
I clearly know what HP is.
Yeah, horsepower.
Yeah, exactly. Just make sure you know what it is. Idiot. God.
You were going to guess Harry Potter, weren't you?
I was, dude. I'm excited for the new HBO series to come out. Let's see what else we got here in the mail sack. Mail sack, I know Dirt is not a Patrick Reed fan, but with him also leaving the Live Tour and having to go through the DP Tour
found respect
to get his PGA Tour card for 27, and the fact that we're in February, he's already got enough points and guaranteed his card for next year. Do we really need to wait until 27 to let him come back, or has he not already proven he belongs on the PGA Tour? Yeah, did he? Yeah,
he won a Masters. He's already proved it.
Yeah, and he's playing some of the best golf in the world right now. He's won back-to-back tournaments, I believe, on the DP World Tour. Two of the first four.
Look at you. You're golfing well.
Dude, hey, thank you.
Because you look like him?
I have that 2018 Masters flag hanging in my man cave.
Yeah, you do. You and him.
I won the Masters that year.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he should be back. And I also do hate him, but I appreciate him because we need people to hate. Golf losing him and Bryson and Brooks that's one of the biggest, other than just losing the best players in the world when they went to live. You got to have guys that you hate and that you root against. Who do you hate on the PGA Tour?
Well, I would argue even with them, might be it.
Scheffler,
but nobody
Jesus.
hates Bryson anymore.
No, he's totally flipped. I'm saying at the moment that he left.
Who do we hate now?
I think Patrick Reed's still there for a lot of people, other than Ryder Cup stuff.
Okay, but if he's not in contention.
Some people that don't appreciate Patrick Cantlay.
Patrick Cantlay's probably the closest.
Is that the Goldman Sachs hat?
He's the human rain delay.
God, that guy. He just hit the ball.
Hit the ball.
What are you doing?
Or
Brian Harmon.
Yeah, Brian Harmon.
Hitch
5'4" waggle.
The old baby.
The old baby.
The old baby.
Millsack, have any of you ever had a fart audible on the air? Not to my knowledge.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
That went out over the air.
Oh. I probably had one years ago that I'm like, and then nobody reacted, so it didn't actually make it on
You just kept going?
But no, not on air.
Definitely burps, yawns occasionally. I try and protect those, but they do strike us from now and then, from time to time.
I try not to have any of those things go on the air.
Me too. Millsack, what is the most exotic animal that you've ever eaten?
Alligator?
Lion.
What's more exotic, alligator or bear?
I've eaten lion.
Alligator.
Gators pretty common down south. Like a lot of restaurants, they'll have it as a gimmick, like fried gator.
Yeah, gator's probably mine. I've never eaten bear.
I did go to Vietnam and see dog on a spike. Did not try it. Refused. Man's best friend, we don't eat. Felt like cannibalism. But you see dog on a spike, no head, twirling around, being cooked, and you're like...
I'm not laughing at the idea of killing or eating dogs.
Well, also, if you saw how some people lived in that country, you'd go...
Yeah, makes sense. Millsack, can you have more than one favorite something, or does favorite only mean one?
You can have more than one favorite.
You can have more than one.
Why do we have to limit everything?
Thank you.
Yeah. Does Baskin Robbins just open up and say we're the home of one flavor?
No.
We have 31 of them things.
I got 3 favorites.
Like if I chose a favorite food, it's probably to grill a ribeye. But I also like spaghetti's also my favorite.
Yeah, but a chili.
And like tacos are also my favorite. And like pizza. I love pizza.
Yeah, but pick one,
I can't,
Andy.
And I'm not going to. Millsack question, a good job in a town or area that doesn't fit your vibe, or a not-so-great job or jobs, but in a town or area that is 100% a fit. Love the show, guys. Always a great listen.
Dude,
what's the ultimate question?
So if I live on the coast, but my job sucks and I hate it versus...
Is that your dream place to live, coast? Oregon coast, or do you need a sunnier coast?
I mean, I'm getting older, so I'm getting colder, so I'd prefer to be, I guess,
a little bit warmer, like a San Diego.
I mean, you hand it to
like
me.
80 degrees every day.
I'm not upset by it.
Weather doesn't really fluctuate very much.
But I don't mind the stormy coast. I'm one of those Oregonians that doesn't mind it. It's got to be beach. Ultimate beach vibes in general. Like, I can figure out the cold, the warm, all that.
But you got a bad job
but
that
I
you
got
don't
a
like.
bad job?
Bad job you don't like.
Versus being in Frederick, Oklahoma with a great job where I've been there and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really hard to answer.
That's really hard.
This is one of the most complicated ones we've ever gotten.
The only thing I would be curious to clarify, and I know people hate when you do this, play the game, play the string.
Come on, Reagan.
How all-consuming is that job? Like, is it you literally just punch the clock 9 to 5, you're done, you leave it there?
You're talking about the bad job?
Yeah, the bad job.
Yeah, let's just say, it's 9 to 5.
But it gives me the means to enjoy
survive
where I'm
the
at.
town.
I
yeah.
would probably choose that over
good
job, but somewhere I did not want to be.
I would, in my scenario, I'm taking the bad job because I will still find a way to make the bad job fun.
Yeah.
I did it when I roofed for my
uncle.
uncle.
I'll make it miserable for everybody else.
Well, then you're going to get fired.
Yeah, then everybody's going to hate you.
I would rather enjoy where I live than be in the middle of nowhere.
Because even if you work 8 hours a day, that's only a third of a day.
Well, the other 1/3 you're sleeping.
Well,
hopefully.
Fourth.
Yeah, well, for you it's a quarter.
I would take the bad or the good job in a bad town.
Yeah. I could get my mind to the point where I was like, all right, let's just go do what I need to do. And this provides me the opportunity to be here and do all the cool stuff that being here
I just
provides.
wonder how many areas of your life would then, if you had to do something that you genuinely hated every day, like we're blessed to do this for a living. It sucks to wake up early in the morning, but this is an awesome job. It's not very serious. We get to come in and kind of do whatever we want. It's fantastic. The idea of doing something for an entire day, week after week after week after week, that I just like waking up in the morning, you're like,
it will eventually force you to the point where it's like, nope, today's the day.
Yeah,
I can't.
I would have the long-term view of I'm going to get through this in a town that I'm going to work a good job in a town that I don't want to live in, so I enjoy every day and I'm excited to go to work every day, and that my day-to-day mental health is better. And then at some point, I'll move to a place that I want to move to when I'm retired.
Those weren't the parameters of the question.
I'm adding a parameter.
You're staying in that podunk town
for the rest of my life.
I would be like,
if it's the rest of my life, then I would take the bad job. But if it's just while I'm working until I retire,
right? And
then now that it's done, I got to do a job that I love. Now, where do I want to move to retire?
But like, what's the worst town you've been in? That you've stayed in?
Oh God, that I've stayed in?
Because if I took you to Frederick, Oklahoma, and
I
you did this job,
I've driven through West Virginia. I mean, I've seen it.
You would.
The Wild Whites are out there.
Get out and be like,
I've been
cool.
fortunate. I've been in Seattle. I've been in Portland. I've been pretty fortunate. So
I would be the guy, the newscaster, famously. Like that guy clearly loves doing news. But he's in like Arkansas or Mississippi, and he's doing the live report, and the bug flies in his mouth.
Yeah, I can't stand these bugs.
Yeah, these damn bugs, man. Like that would be me. I wouldn't want to be, even though I like the job. I'd find a way to enjoy I would just latch on to people.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the job,
and you gotta hope you like your coworkers.
You find a way to like them.
Cross your fingers.
You think we like all our coworkers in this building? I find a way to like everybody.
I love every single one of them.
That's not true.
I think they're all delightful. Last one here, Millsack. Which fan base is more happier? Is that the correct?
More happy.
More happy.
More happy.
With the current
happier.
Is happier with the current program situation. Oregon football fans or Oregon State baseball fans? Then as season starts on Friday, boys, I expect constant breakdown coverage since us Beaver fans have literally nothing else to talk about lately.
Ooh.
I will try and follow closer. I'll give you that
I think right
much.
now it's Oregon Duck fan because
Oregon
Beaver
fan.
constantly wants to fire Canham the minute he loses 2 games in a row.
Didn't they get to Omaha last year?
I thought they got short.
I thought they made
I got to the Super Regionals.
I thought they lost in the Super Regionals.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
Super
will double check.
Do I know more about Oregon State baseball than you two? And if that is ending
You're
up,
CJ Strouding me
if
right now.
this is going to be correct,
you
then
stop CJ Strouding.
it is
me.
100% Oregon fans are happier. If you guys don't even know how far you made it in the postseason,
Well, we're not claiming to be the
they
question.
had a walk-off hit. We were watching the game at the Timbers game.
Right.
Remember when we were going to the Timbers
How
game
can
and we
I
were at the
forget?
bar?
I
They were
know.
playing a team in
Swag,
Omaha.
How did you forget?
You morons. I know more about Oregon
You
State baseball than you
dipstick.
do.
It was definitely.
They did, didn't they? You don't want to
They
answer
did.
the question. You searched it. It doesn't take that long to search. They made it to Omaha last year.
They did.
Yeah, they
Thank
did.
you.
I told
They won
you.
a game in a walk-off.
Yes. Remember we were at the Timbers game?
Answer the question. Oregon football fans.
I think it's
happier.
Oregon
Because
football
we can.
fan.
I know we got our asses kicked in the semifinals. I know how far we made it last year.
It's not that Oregon State fan is unhappy. It's that college football, for the general masses of the country, it's the second biggest sport.
Yeah.
And you're largely in the top 5 every year with Lanning? seemingly. You're listening to the conversation.
We'll be again next year.
And I'm not saying this is all Beaver fan. That listener, this is not counting you maybe. But I see the noise on Canham, and it's like, hasn't won a title. Hasn't been to Omaha every year. And I'm like, it's kind of hard. Also, they're like an independent now. You think that's easy?
Not easy. Got to put the schedule together.
How about we just relax and let him build and let him grow and build his own culture? So, again, not everybody. It's probably a slim minority that I'm talking about, but I hear the slim minority.
I mean, we're one more blowout away next year in the semis from probably being right there with you.
Firing Lanning.
This is ridiculous. Dude.
By the way, Indiana beating you yesterday, that's like just a double.
They're our daddy now.
They kind of own you guys.
Indiana's our daddy.
Yeah.
We got to find the striped warm-up pants to match him.
I can't believe they won the football national championship.
Thanks for that reminder.
Indiana.
Your baseball team made the playoffs from the World Series. You didn't even know. Let's wrap it up next with good news on the Fan. All right, welcome back in. The Firm of Harris and Moran coming up next. Pierre's out there watching some curling, getting ready to go.
I think they're, for the listeners that have been interested and we haven't gotten to it, I think they're going to get into the Blazer public money, private money.
Oh, okay. I'll be curious to hear what they got to say on that. I did enjoy the listener comment of we did a double Doc Parker segment in Omaha. How do we know that wasn't that long ago? You idiots.
How do you not remember that, dude?
You, I don't blame because you don't follow it like you're not one of these diehard baseball fans. You're very honest. You're like me with Oregon basketball, right? Like you're good late in the year. I'll watch. All right, let's do this thing. Swigard, that's inexcusable for you. Inexcusable for you. And they played a game at the Hops ballpark too, didn't they? Didn't you come up?
Yeah, they always play
there.
Right.
There.
You call your PA in their games.
I'm not. They don't have
Oh, they don't bring you up to do those?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No.
They are the big dogs.
I was going to play a drop here, and then I just realized I'd
logged
out on my computer. Do you know what happened? You know what starts today? Do you know what today is? Do you have the drop? Do you know what the drop is that I'm looking for?
No.
You don't know. I know Swigard, but well, that applies. That applies. Pitchers and catchers. There it is.
Baseball stuff.
There it is. Happy pitchers and catchers reporting, everybody.
6, 7, 8 of the teams.
Yeah, about a quarter of the teams.
Yes, the
are reporting today.
They're down in 80-degree weather, throwing fastballs left and right.
Zingers. Zoom.
Everybody's excited for baseball season to begin?
It's all kind of staggered throughout the week.
Ball four, take your base. I tell you, I want to volunteer and be an umpire, but I'm terrified of parents, so I'm never going to do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Throwing them out.
I told my kids to take charges last week at practice, and I said, you'll get the charge. And they're like, why? Because we're small? And I go, well, refs love doing the charge call.
Yeah.
It's just like a strikeout call in baseball. If it's right on that fine line, that's strike 3. You're out.
Dude, your kid stories crack me up from coaching. I was playing golf with a buddy on Friday. By the way, we have not talked about the weather on Friday yet and how delightful it was, feeling like a mid-June day. Holy hell, I got sunburnt.
We might get snow this coming weekend.
We'll be fine.
We're getting snow this weekend?
Sunday.
I might be golfing tomorrow.
Sunday night over into the holiday on Monday.
What? It's going to snow on a day off?
Snow.
Bogus, dude.
Snow, freezing rain.
Snow on Tuesday. Anyways, he coaches his kids I think his youngest son's in 3rd grade basketball, so pretty young, but he was telling stories about the league called him and they were like, hey, we got a kid who needs on a team. Do you have room?
I've had that exact thing happen to me. And
he was like, yeah, whatever, fine, put him on the team. Shows up at the first practice, first game, and this kid like literally runs around the court cussing out the officials the entire game. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I just sit him on the bench, but I can't discipline him.
Yeah.
But I got nothing. I got nothing to do.
Tournament life is very interesting. We saw a kid last weekend before our last game, and they were losing like 75-18. And I didn't even see what he did, but the ref teed him up, and all of a sudden he's just like, I didn't do anything! And he starts like trying to take his jersey off, and his coach has to walk him to the bench.
How old a kid are we talking here?
I don't know. 6th grade?
How old's the ref?
7th?
Ref, full-size man?
The ref's an old, the kid clearly did something. Ref wasn't saying anything to the kid, but he's just like losing. He's melted down.
Let him charge the ref. See how that works out for you. There's
kick him in the shins over and over.
Life lesson right there. That old guy's going to put you in a headlock.
Dude,
you're not escaping that.
I'm super excited to be emotionally wrecked by a baseball team for 9 months just to watch the Dodgers three-peat. So exciting.
Welcome to the dark side, baby.
I forgot you had Edwin Diaz.
Yeah.
And then I heard the trumpets, and I went,
There's
not a better place for that, for a ballpark, than the trumpets there.
Yeah, guys, our relief pitching's really bad this year. We didn't spend enough money on it.
Can't wait for you to skip Game 7 again.
If you missed any of the show, go check the podcast.
I still will die thinking you never watched that game.
1051thefan.com, at 1051thefan on Twitter, at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. We'll tweet it out here as soon as we're done. Thanks for being a part of our Tuesday, everybody. Happy non-football season. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Firm of Harrison Moraine is next. Listen to 1051 FM The Fan.